Who would like to recap as it's approaching 6 o'clock?
Fuck, I feel like it's been a while.
Demon Lord of Slavery and Dicitude. Also super cool Midas the Minotaur.
2 different people.
Yep.
No, like Midas the Minotaur.
Mm-hmm. No, but the Demon Lord of Slavery and Prisons.
Yeah.
Different person than them.
Different person.
Than the...
Also, world's worst tour.
I thought it was the god of time and prisons.
That too. They're also... She also seems to have an entire clock tower full of slaves.
Okay. More importantly, the tour sucked.
Yeah, there wasn't really
The
one.
tour was garbage.
I really love the, let's sneak in here. I will run up to the guy.
Hi!
Perfect.
I've snuck in here.
It's a great plan.
It worked.
It was not what I expected, so...
It kind of didn't, though.
It worked.
You immediately got imprisoned into goo.
Goo is...
I was in queue.
Doesn't do it justice.
Generous term?
Doesn't do it justice.
I was in queue for the next tour.
It was...
That's true.
Awful is
Sure.
a better term, and not the AW type.
Yeah. Gross.
Yes.
So yeah, we went in there. You guys got
Broke in.
gooed up, and then we
But why am I covered in goo?
we also went to try to find you once that guy walked off, but he came back really fast. We did get kind of in your direction.
You guys wizarded the shit out of Message.
Yeah?
Yeah,
To find where
true.
we were.
that's true.
Very true.
We found you, kind of. Then he showed up and ported us all to the top of a tower 500 feet above the clouds.
Platform
above the
500 feet above the clouds.
Right, a platform of 500 feet above the clouds, and then we looked down to stuff.
We could see a clock.
Yeah, that was
Giant
off in
clock
the
tower.
distance.
Right.
And I think it's important to note that they still don't know how we got to this realm?
Yeah, they do.
Reality? No, they don't.
I said magic.
So what's her name
That-
with us?
That's true.
Magic is
Shine
how we
light,
got
yes.
there.
We're magic so that we could strike a deal.
There was a pretty solid answer. How'd you get here? Magic.
Magic.
Magic. That
Well, yeah.
That is vague enough to be a dick, not so vague that you have to roll a bluff check.
Right?
In this world, though, it's
was
pretty much,
true.
well, how'd you get here? I walked.
Right.
It's like, yeah. But,
Yeah.
but why? And
Why did you come here? Right. Ah.
We want to buy stuff.
So we're up on a high platform.
it's kind of,
I wasn't there for like.
I imagine just a floating chessboard.
no, it's
Way up on
it's
the
not that at all. It's basically like a balcony jutting out from the pyramid, the step pyramid.
Yeah, near the top of the pyramid.
Yeah, think Nefarian's little balcony
Oh, okay.
in Black Rock
Yeah, yeah.
Mountain. So
And then in the distance, like 2 miles away, there's a like a clock tower.
yeah, like off
Okay.
in the distance, also jutting out of the clouds, is a large clock tower
With a demon lord atop it.
And we saw slave. Where were the slaves? Just
All
all
over
the
the
way
tower.
down.
pretty much.
like turning cranks, running
Yeah.
on
Oh,
wheels.
they're up the tower.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
They are
okay.
making the clock tower clock.
For some reason, I thought like there was a lower, bigger platform, like we're above a truck bed kind of thing.
No.
Okay,
So you are
so
still
they're
in
just
the
in a
step pyramid.
tower that we're
Yeah.
looking, and they're all cranking away. Okay, that makes more sense now.
It's very Dickensian. There are a lot of orphans with. Oh God. Anyway, so yeah, it's very Dickensian. There are a lot of
What is a
orphans
rat
covered in
with
soot
food?
pushing things. And, please, sir, I want some more type of things.
Nice.
So, I believe we left off on the platform where the large Minotaur person.
left us.
And he showed up.
Yes, he showed up. Actually, let's say this. Just before he shows up. Unless you want to pick it up from right here. So, we'll kind of rewind about 30 seconds or so. You're all on the platform, kind of overlooking the clouds. Very dirty-looking clouds. Mostly brownish and reddish. Looks more like smog than anything else. Off in the distance, there's at a horrible, disturbing-looking clock tower. It looks almost like something out of a Tim Burton movie, so it's all twisted and gnarled, but
Does it have a tree near it?
it does not.
Could we tell if it's the same general architecture style?
No, totally different.
Totally different. Okay.
This factory or pyramid you're on is very sheer. It's just metal and mechanical motions as panels open, dispense stuff, other vents open, smoke, steam, smog, whatever comes out. It's all very much. This is basically a colossal machine. The tower is somewhat similar, but in a more twisted and demented kind of way, and it just seems to exude suffering.
So it's kind of if the pyramid that we're on is machinations gone mad, then that tower is machinations gone mad through the eyes of a demon.
Kind of, sort of.
So like you have the Spice Marines, and that's the Tower of Chaos.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Basically, it's very. It's perfect. Yeah, it's Space Marines versus Chaos Marines. So, the time passes for a good few minutes. Shyla, the halfling who you met here, and in many ways brought you here, or at least called you here. She is rummaging through a satchel on her hip, and she pulls out like a grappling hook, and she starts kind of lashing it to, like, she's trying to jam it into a crease in the steel of this building.
I'm gonna help her seat it.
Cool. Give me a strength check, please.
You got it.
Weird, help him out.
Don't any of you motherfuckers say it.
It's like that. It's just Shyla, just like, please stop helping. I've got this.
If I need to be a better wizard,
I know my tools. It's fine. Just stop helping. I appreciate it. Thank you for the thought.
I'm a healer.
the NPC is literally telling you to stop helping. Okay, like that's a weird.
I'm a healer. Just remember that.
That's true. He's the healer. So she manages to kind of get a good purchase on it. Runs a rope down. She attaches herself to said rope, kind of ties it off, and with a high-pitched buzzing sound, starts rappelling down the side. As that happens, the wall that seems to be going, or that is facing the inside of the pyramid, slides open. There doesn't seem to have been a mechanism or an actual door there. It just sort of kind of slides open just enough for a figure to almost pass through it, I believe, as I described last time. It's almost as though it's phasing through, but you can tell that things are moving because it then immediately moves shut behind it. There's no simple mechanism in this entire place, it seems.
I pull out my shield and block it on the ground to block the view of the grapple hook.
I like it. Very good.
And I lean on the shield.
Can we can't see the ground, right?
No.
No. Okay.
We see clouds below us.
The clouds are about 500 feet below you, and you have no idea how dense or how
Yeah.
tall the cloud layer is.
Okay.
I'm going to
I'm gonna go ahead
What?
and say dimension doors out.
approach the door as if to greet whoever is about to present themselves.
Oh, they have walked. Actually, they have passed through the door as it's moving around them.
Well, I'll approach
Sure.
to greet.
Sure. The figure that
Is this
comes
the
out
beginning of the tour?
is
Take the words right out of my mouth.
is not the Minotaur that you saw earlier.
Are you the tour guide?
Let me describe the guy first.
I mean, it's irrelevant, but go for it. As far as
I know.
A man enters. Kill him.
I'm trying to present a scene. The figure that walks out is dressed in very well-tailored
He is a
clothing. White. Stark white. His skin, he looks like an absurdly generic human. He's just an human.
It's a mark chatter.
Sure.
I'm glad that's back.
Yeah. So an human comes through.
Sure.
I would like some perception checks, please.
You got it. Hey, double digits.
Yeah. So, like I said, wearing finely tailored white clothing.
14.
14?
20.
20?
17.
Okay. However, instead of having two shoes or boots, his left foot is a hoof. And with a 20, you notice that one of his eyes is human, and his other eye is reptilian.
Hi.
Hello.
Are you the tour guide?
Not really giving tours at the moment. However, it's good to see you again.
Is it?
Yes.
Again?
You sound, well, I had a slightly different form the last time we spoke.
Oh, you were the Wiggle Arm Minotaur.
Yes,
Gotcha.
so to speak. Anyway,
I don't know what you Southerners call it.
welcome to the Macadam.
I like it.
As we briefly discussed inside the facility, I'm rather curious what you are looking to get out of your visit.
Oh, weapons of mass destruction. Huge.
He looks intently at you and goes, "You're not entirely wrong, are you?"
I mean, it's not, salt the earth, salt the entire earth. It's salt those guys' earth.
I don't think we want to salt any Earth. There's no point in taking Earth if you're going to salt it.
Figuratively.
Okay.
Well,
Salt the graves.
let me introduce myself. My name is Hagen.
Hello, Hagen.
I believe I got your name, but you're the two of you?
I'm Todd.
Todd and
Carl von Krieger.
Carl von Krieger.
He has a first name?
It's a pleasure to meet you. And Mirden, it's good to see you again.
Yeah.
Intelligence check.
I'm just gonna give Krieger a look like you haven't told me this before. I thought we were friends.
14.
It's good enough. It was recent enough.
Okay.
You introduced yourself as Mirden.
Mirrored. And he called me Mirrodin.
He did.
Okay. Like a Mirrodin stone? Or should I just... Is that just kind of questionable?
Did you want to... Is that out loud in character?
Sure.
Okay. We'll have something to discuss, it seems.
Okay.
If you'd like to do it in public, then that's fine. In private is fine as well.
Is there
As you are more in the know than I
Since you've
dealer's choice.
Since you've all taken the great pains in getting here, I am happy to be of any service I can. In any capacity that I can. So please, let's go inside and discuss. And as he kind of turns, you can see his fingernails are kind of longish. They're not fully claws, but they're a bit pointy looking.
a bit more claw than a coke nail?
Yeah.
Okay.
And each of his fingernails seem to be made of a different kind of metal. So as he gestures, waves his hand towards the door panel, the entire thing does slide open. And inside is a very well furnished, looks like office type space, or at least reading area. There are some plants made out of copper, which is interesting. There's a very elaborate water clock that kind of dominates the entire wall.
I don't I don't want this to sound weird, but I love your nails.
Oh, thank you. It takes a very long time to get them done.
I imagine.
Someone say thousands of years.
Sounds
So
right.
please, come in. Let's discuss. And as an aside, everyone is comfortable discussing things with everybody else? No secrets amongst friends?
No.
Not really.
Okay.
We
are-
are shoe first.
Schubert.
Bends down
Sure.
behind the shield.
Of course. Since we'll be discussing very personal matters, I figured it's always better to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, we met in the bathroom.
Interesting.
As in the group. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
So,
I look down. Is Shyla gone?
she has descended quite a bit. Jasper kind of hides behind the shield with you. He's like, I don't feel comfortable talking with this guy. I'll stay out here and keep her covered.
Okay.
And Juno is
Did you mean Jeremiah?
Yeah.
You said Jasper.
You said Jasper.
I said Jasper.
I was
I didn't
super
catch it.
confused for a second.
My bad. J names. There's a lot of
I didn't catch it.
there's a lot of J names. Jeremiah. Thank you for catching that. Jeremiah is very uncertain about this whole thing.
I was trying to figure out why I was the retard.
No.
Like, why is no one surprised that
I was,
There's
but
a
I
rat-
figured.
is here?
There's a rat man here. No.
I knew what he was talking
Jeremiah.
Okay.
There's so many J names right now.
You said it with such confidence, and no one else.
Right, because I'm so used to being Jasper. I love that guy.
He's great. I love him.
Jeremiah, thank you for correcting me. Jeremiah doesn't feel comfortable, so he's going to kind of cover her to make sure nothing amiss happens. Juno, which is the cat, okay, another J name,
Yep.
is very much cat-like, just laying down at the very edge of the platform,
Raising a flag.
not
while
not giving a single fuck, just like every cat would. It's like, hey, I'm perilously balanced on this tiny little rail, and I don't care,
Right.
because cat.
I'm a fucking cat, yo.
So, Jeremiah seems to have things mostly in hand for disguising, or just kind of standing in the way of the grappling hook.
Then I go back in with the group.
Okay,
My freshly tied shoe.
nice.
It's Velcro.
It's a metal boot.
Right, it's just ratcheting noises.
He's just got cargo straps and a metal plate.
Right.
So please have a seat. There are no chairs in this room.
I sit on the ground.
As he says, please have a seat. Wall panels open up and mechanical chairs kind of amble out rather gracefully for machines, and they just settle near you.
I will sit in a chair.
I've been sitting way too long. I'm gonna stand if you don't mind.
Whatever you wish.
Yeah.
Your wishes are my not command, but
Suggestion.
Well, I mean, to get to the heart of the matter, I guess. Mm-hmm. I mean, so you are supplying weapons to Vector. Right?
that is someone else entirely. It is not your concern.
Right. You were asking why we were here.
Right.
And essentially, we were...
We'd like to see the weapons.
Well,
Once again, those are none of your concern.
we were commissioned from the other side of that war, essentially.
Still,
Not to try to stop, just to, level
Like
the playing
some more,
field.
And in addition to that, I believe we already discussed that we are from Meardenhall, which is north of that current situation, and we would like to not be. I think steamrolled
Right.
might be the appropriate term.
understandable. However, minor skirmishes and conflicts are paltry. I want to know what the three of you want. Not for your country or for your nation or your gods, but what do you want? What are your grand ideas? Let's discuss.
I think Joe knows what this is. But I don't know if Meard would know what this is.
Intelligence check.
Just in straight intelligence?
Or wisdom. That seems wisdomy to me, doesn't it? What about you? Wisdomy?
I don't know. I rolled a 1.
Nice.
19 for intelligence.
We'll take it. What does Joe think it is?
Joe thinks that this is like a bargaining devil-like person.
Not a devil.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Closer.
Like some kind of demon?
Yep.
Like a crossroads demon?
No.
Okay.
Like a contract.
What do you want? Give me your soul and I'll give you what you want.
Nah, souls are
I see the looks on your faces. I can assure you, I am not one to make bargains or contracts. I'm, for lack of a better term, a muse. You have an idea, I make it happen.
That's cool.
I have all of these facilities at my disposal to make any idea you have a possibility. For example, and he holds up...
Sounds sketchy as shit above board.
Yeah. For example, he holds up a very dark-looking... It almost looks like it's made of lead, oval-shaped stone. Do you know what this is?
Do I know what it is?
Meard would know, and give me a wisdom check for you.
It's
Iron stone or something?
an almost lead-like round
No.
12.
The big bullet.
That's what we call weight.
It's for deep sea fishing.
I think it's called a plumb bob.
This is the first Philosopher's Stone. The very first one. Someone had an idea. And together we made it.
Made a sorcerer's stone.
No, the Philosopher's Stone.
Philosopher's stone.
No, it's not
Only in
so.
America.
No, he was a wizard. Not a sorcerer. I know.
I know. I hate Harry Potter. It's a Philosopher's Stone
Guy was-
because I said so.
He was a prepared spellcaster. He didn't cast from his blood. He was a wizard.
Anyway, it's a Philosopher's Stone because Harry Potter is stupid.
Fuck you, Harry Potter.
Who can't kill a child? I mean, honestly.
He can't even take over a middle school.
For fuck's sake.
But he wasn't trying to... No, I'm not having this conversation.
No, let's not. Let's continue
Nope.
with the more interesting thing.
Yes. Philosopher's stone. Go.
So, you have an idea. I can make it happen.
At what cost?
The first idea I had was, why don't you go fuck yourself? You can make that happen.
He just turns around.
He turns around. He gestures, and a panel opens up, and a very similar room to one that happens to be on Santa's workship opens up. There's a blue barrel of lube. No,
Greener walks over to it.
Who's in that crate?
oh, just some sex bot who's totally not a sex bot. Anyway,
Sex robot. Sex robot.
anywho,
How did he get here? Sorry.
it seems that one of you have forgotten what their initial idea was, and we're going to have to talk about that because that's interesting.
Okay. Yeah. I'm assuming you're talking about me because I'm the only one in this group who doesn't remember.
He was very, not slyly, but very pointedly just looking in your direction. In Meard's direction, I should say.
He forgets a lot of things.
So it would seem.
I don't forget a lot of things. I forgot a lot of things. It's past tense.
How do you know?
Good point.
So,
Boom! Compliment.
the large couple seem to want weapons of mass destruction, and I'm getting a
Krieger has a
strong.
look of horror on his face.
I'm getting a strong freedom vibe. You don't want anything tying you down, do you?
America. No.
Right?
I have the right to bear arms.
Guns. Welcome to the gun show.
If all you want are guns, I can make that happen too.
No, he has a different character for that.
What's your proficiency? No.
Games.
What's this? A gun rack.
Nice. Anyway.
You know, for an audio podcast, this is not very audio friendly.
Nobody listens to it anyway.
No, nobody
Yeah,
does.
right? It's
Nobody
just
does.
us.
It's just
This,
us.
this is so that we remember what happened a week ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I'm less self-conscious about that.
Yeah.
I hope no one ever listens to this shit.
Because
As-
she's stupid.
Because she's stupid. I played that out loud like a lot repeatedly. As a note, I am thinking about getting new mics. And instead of setting this all up, get everybody shirt mics. Because that way, it'll be wireless.
Yeah.
But that way, as we move and stuff, it'll all just
That's true.
stay the same.
That's fair.
So.
It'll be less.
Unless I start moving my head a lot
black
like
dick in your face.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll clear the table up. And
That's also true.
Anyway.
That's also true.
Black dick.
So,
That's fucking teamwork.
anywho,
Anyway,
I'm trying to keep this thing on track.
you're fine.
We have
Some-
half the people
some
and
of the-
way less track.
Some of the funnest times we've ever had are not on track.
Birthday party!
Birthday party!
Just friendly reminder, we've been playing for about 20 minutes, and we've done more so far than we have in some sessions.
That's
true.
true.
Birthday party.
Remember
One of
the
my favorite
argument
sessions of all
session
time.
we had,
Oh
Nick?
god, it was one of the best
It
sessions.
was so great.
Okay,
What session?
shut up. So, you want to destroy large swaths of the planet.
No, it's not like I have nothing against the planet. I just want to perform.
Genocide.
I mean, kind of like it's a very specific genocide.
He wants to
We
be
can
known
make that
as a
happen.
great hero against a certain enemy.
Look, I don't want to be Hitler. I don't. But he
Like-
had some good ideas.
Like a Stalin.
We're going for Hilter. Pol Pot, maybe?
Look, I'm just saying.
Merkel,
If I
Bush.
found my Mangala, I'd be way happier. That is probably the worst thing I have ever said in my life.
Yeah.
All right, high five.
You'd
Good.
think, but it's not, actually.
Good thing it was
You've
all
said
recorded.
worse.
Please hire me. I need a job. Again, my name is Matthew Masterman. I'm the fat one.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Stop it. That's my job.
What you get, because I'm still, even on my fucking vacation, dealing with mini muscles. So, it's not that I
What
want,
was your last drink check roll?
it's, shut the fuck up.
Put the one before that.
You can
Guess-
yell and scream
guess-
about it all you want.
guess
We
he's
might
He's the
not-
healer.
Guess who doesn't get more heals?
He's the healer.
We might not say it out loud, but it's still being said. You know what I mean?
Yep, these motherfuckers should be familiar with what it's like to piss off your healer.
Cookie!
Anyway,
I know what it's like to have to re-roll you the
Another
healer and
character
find them
right
again.
here.
This is
So-
right there.
it's not that I want to destroy a large swath of land. It's not that I want to destroy part of the world. I just want to take an entire cursed existence and end it.
Not your own.
No. So I guess it's technically genocide, but in the same way that like killing 3 people that are the same color is genocide, but a little bit more genocide than that.
Like way more than 3, too.
Yeah.
I can make that
like
happen.
all of them.
I can make that happen.
Not
Does 3
originally.
count as
It's okay.
genocide?
Yeah. Killing 3 people of the same color counts as genocide.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But only technically.
I am a purveyor of ideas. You have ideas, I can make them happen. And that's all.
So who's the bill collector?
Why is there a bill?
What's in it for you?
I get
Just love of the game?
the ideas that are given to me, I can help bring them to fruition, and then they're part of the world.
You just like
It's
to
the
see other
creation.
worlds burn?
Can I do a perception on him?
Yeah, a sense motive?
Yeah, sense
I
motive.
want to do a
Sorry,
knowledge religion on it.
Sure.
I watched too much D&D. I saved the wrong thing.
16.
16?
Intense thing.
16.
16?
Yeah. Almost old enough.
Grass on the field.
He seems straightforward and with a religion.
Yeah.
Um,
Like being solely devoted to just the creation of something. Seemed kind of zealoty.
yeah. There is no religious iconography on him or around him. Give me a plains.
Good word use. 17.
Okay. Based on where you are, you know you're in the Mechanum.
Mm-hmm.
With the name Hagen given to you, you kind of you've read bits and pieces. It's just been at the fringes because he's very, very lesser. This is a demi-plane at best.
Mm-hmm.
So calling him a demon lord would be a strong term.
How about a demon lieutenant?
Demon duke.
Demon Duke. I like it.
But Hagen could be. You've heard of Hagenti. He's one of the lords of alchemy and invention. What?
Is he Fragante?
No. But yeah, he's one of the lords of alchemy and invention
Okay.
and transformation, which explains a lot considering
Wiggle arms.
wiggle arms, the fact that his footprints can actually change metal into other metals, things like that. So he might even be one of the main contributors to transmutation magic or something like that.
Let me ask you something, Hagen.
Yes, by all means.
You seem like a smart guy.
You're the ones with the ideas.
You've built a good head on your shoulders.
I love this guy.
By the way, Finn, still love the horns. When you have them.
He grows them again.
Ah, you tease. What do you know about Wendigos?
I know enough to know that they're a plague.
Oh, yeah.
Once they spread, they don't stop.
No, that's the genocide I'm trying to do?
A noble cause.
I thought so. Then I found these facts.
Well, they'll likely get you there.
We'll see.
There's great power within these people.
So far, I've become quite an accomplished lumberjack.
That's a very powerful item you have on your back.
That's why I'm a great lumberjack.
I know. Last time I saw that, there was an axe. Interesting that it's not now.
Oh, dude.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Weird. It's almost like it was my birthday.
It's almost like he was doling out a ton of loot.
That too. So, I don't know exactly what it is I'm looking for.
Right.
I just know, I'll know it when I see it. Could you, or do you have any suggestions to point me in the right way?
Plenty. We just need to plumb the depths of your imagination and find it.
And that's what the plum is for!
Plum is for your butt. It's always for your butt.
Why do I keep you guys alive?
It's a matter of how you want to get it done.
I was in charge of de-beetling you.
Anyway. How do you want to get it done? There are means of... Ooh, a plague that only infects the undead. Interesting.
I've heard about a similar thing. There was a plague that only affected, I think it was orcs.
That was one of my favorites.
It was good. I read it in a book. I can read.
I saw it firsthand. It was glorious.
I didn't.
And the engineering that occurred because of it was fascinating.
I heard it was quite the task to try and accomplish with, according to the
A
legend
single
that
dwarf.
that I read. Like, had all sorts of planes hopping. And
Well, that as well. Yes, I wasn't privy to the entire quest. I merely inspired and helped facilitate, so to speak. But the results were amazing. You know, some say you can still find fragments of Promethium still in the world. And all of you can make intelligence checks. to learn about that shit.
13. Unless you want knowledge engineering.
No.
13.
10.
You guys have never heard of Prometheum in your life.
Nope.
I do miss this stuff, and out of a pocket he pulls out a small, jagged shard of... It looks to be like almost a crystal. It's predominantly blue, but there are shocks of red kind of coursing through it. It almost seems to kind of exude magical energy. There's not much left, but what is so good. And he puts it back into his pocket. Anyway. So, you want to destroy the Wendigo. Thus far, you've been doing it directly with your giant weapon. Or seeking to.
Thus far, we haven't been doing any of it.
No, seeking to. You've been building yourself up to it.
Yeah, appeasing with malformed infants doesn't really count as slaughter.
Anyway. We'll figure something out.
Okay. That's not foreboding.
And you, the man behind the helmet.
Yes.
What do you want? What's down under that shell you've built up around you?
Strength. I already have freedom.
That shell again. Do you have freedom?
I do.
He has an idea for a bakery.
That's third thing on my list.
A farm, then. No. I want to make a donut from scratch.
A big oven.
Right.
Big enough to fit people in.
I have an idea for an electric jet. No. Iron Man 2? No? Alright, never mind.
Yes, you have your freedom. What about the rest?
The rest of what?
No, the rest of the people who don't. I saw you looking at the tower. I saw your hackles raise even underneath the shell.
I'll worry about them when the time comes.
Right. And I can help.
How?
Let's figure it out.
I know my calculus. It says you plus me equals us.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
We're together. You guys remember Together?
No.
MTV?
No.
Spoof boy
No.
band?
No.
No. Never even heard
We
of
don't watch boy bands, Joe.
it. All I know is...
You would if you would have gotten as much pussy in middle... No, I'm just kidding.
What was it like to have a full beard in 6th grade?
Awesome.
I bet.
It's the main trick to get girls. Learn popular boy band songs and then sing them. Done.
With your dick out.
Well, that helps.
It helps to have radio voice and not the shit that I'm stuck with.
Hi! I'm gonna sing you a song!
I can make all sorts of voices, but none of them are attractive.
You want to get fucked by Goofy?
There's got to be somebody out there.
I dated her.
Yeah, hell. Anyway,
Anyway,
Alright, back to the game.
sorry I had to do one at least.
no.
Okay. What to do with you?
Zip.
You're hard to read. There is something under the shell, but it's hard to find. There's a lot of shell.
There are a few
It's
things.
that which he desires himself. Beard's very much libertarian. See?
All about them individual rights. Fuck other people.
Right.
What about those slaves? Fuck those slaves.
They shouldn't be slaves.
They
I
should
got
work
mine.
harder and get stronger so they can be free too.
They should do what I did.
Deadlifts.
Squats.
Lots of squats. It helps with the running.
Nothing is for free. What's the cost of your assistance?
As I keep insisting, there is no cost. Simply imparting my gifts upon the world, and your ideas upon the world are reward enough. That's what this place is built on.
He gets off.
Imparting your ideas, he said. What kind of ideas do you have?
Well, for example, and he holds up that Philosopher's Stone again. I
can't do anything with a rock.
right. This,
I rolled an 11.
the Philosopher's Stone, was an idea from a wizard a long, long time ago.
How many thens?
He pauses for a second. Thousands. Someone had the enterprising idea of turning lead into gold. So we created this together. And then he could. And now, it's difficult, but it's possible to make these yourself, or to find them, and then turn lead into gold. And among
Will that help me get stronger?
this particular item, no. But we can brainstorm. We can find something that will work for you. You want to get stronger? Do you care to see other people freed?
That's what getting stronger is for.
You know, historically,
Then we have a-
dwarven muscle tissue is way denser than, like, normal muscle tissue.
Yeah, but the life expectancy is bullshit.
Well, yeah, but if you could combine that, like, if you could have a giant with dense muscle tissue, I mean, you'd sink like a rock in the water, but, like...
You should make babies with an
This can't
orangutan.
swim.
Or a chimp.
Should make a what?
Make a baby with a chimp. Thing will be ripped.
Or a midget. They're all-
He looks intently at Krieger. Is Krieger looking back at him?
Yeah, I fucking the shit out of him.
Perfect.
Right?
That's a great idea. I think I can come up with something in just a very short amount of time.
Wait, fucking a midget?
No.
Orangutan has a strength of 10 men, like a retard.
The last,
So that's why,
the last thing was midget.
My people are on it.
if you ever find a retarded orangutan, you turn and run.
You should run at you like this.
Mirden.
Yeah. I don't know about new ideas.
I don't trust this guy.
My whole problem is that I've apparently lost ideas or info. I don't know. I'm assuming this isn't the first time we've spoken.
It's the second.
You saw him earlier.
I potentially deduce that maybe you might be the one in the idea of the Mirden Stone.
It was your idea.
It was my idea, but you
I
you helped facilitate.
I simply gave you the list of things you need to create it.
And then I show him the pieces of the page that I do have.
Huh.
This is the list. I'm assuming.
Interesting. And he, out of reality, he pulls out a book and he starts flipping through it, and every single page is red leather. Every single one of them as he's flipping through it.
They don't all have the info I have. He wrote it in his book and gave me.
We take the book, swan dive into oblivion. Run away.
Jump off.
What could go
With the
wrong?
book.
He's only
Dimension
a demon
door.
dude.
It looks like you'd made some changes to the design. Interesting.
I don't know. I woke
No,
up.
I could see them here.
Oh.
And he shows you the book, and you can see all of the pieces that you had
Screenshot.
organized. But you can also see areas where things are scratched out and added, and little notes in the margins and stuff like that. It's been just completely scrawled over a bunch.
Okay. Yay.
Weird factory noises.
Magic.
So,
Is
it's still up in the air what the Mirden Stone was.
You've forgotten?
I woke up 10 years ago with no memory of anything prior to that, and this spell book with the top corner of this, and I point out the one that just has the mirrored part, that is all I have of any kind of history. And apparently, I am...
Well, then here. And as he tears out
Does
the
he
copy,
go?
as he tears out the page, you can see the book kind of flap down, and the page kind of reseats itself. So he has a page, but another one has regrown, might work, or is turned to the same exact copy. You just
So, again, though, I mean,
right.
what was it to do? What was my goal here? The idea was that it was a manufactured
Starstone.
Starstones,
Yes.
right?
You wanted to become a god, but you didn't think it was necessary to pass the test. You wanted godhood for yourself and anyone else you felt could make it.
That makes sense. Mirror seen himself as a god. Yeah.
You, in seeking power, you felt that it was important that anyone who sought the same power that could attain it. Why should they be limited by their mortal
by
forms?
a moral test set up by somebody else,
Right.
is what I would guess.
Your idea was to allow the individual to grant themselves the ability to ascend through very difficult magics, but ascend nonetheless.
Did I ever discuss with you why I was looking to do that? Was it just
Your motives
purely-
are your own. I am simply an ideas guy.
Right. I understand that. I just... Again, I feel like this is an extreme thing. A very cool thing. But an extreme thing.
You were a bit of an extreme person. Living in your tower all by yourself. Just
I
trying
had a tower?
Yeah.
You mean the keep?
No. But he had a tower.
No, not the
Tower?
Apparently I had a tower.
Last we spoke, you were in your tower. There were the 3 mountains nearby. Or the 3 peaks nearby. Yeah.
That tower.
Sorry. Is that not the Mirden Hall you spoke of? Have you not built that up around you?
I didn't even know that was officially an actual thing until you just said it.
I didn't know if you called it a thing or not, or I didn't know if you'd built a nation around yourself.
I had a vision
I
of
assumed.
it once.
I saw it once in a dream.
I saw it once in a dream. But again, I don't know anything about who I was prior to 10 years ago. Outside of that, I'm 460 thens old or
Well,
something.
that's not even remotely... No. What's a then?
I don't know. A goblin seer told me that. So,
Maybe we should go to seers that aren't goblins.
yeah.
Even... They have ideas even I don't want to go near.
When
Goblins are pure agents of chaos.
We haven't been exactly rolling in gold.
The last time we spoke was about... almost 1,100 years ago?
That's interesting.
History checks.
Seven.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
24.
Well, historically speaking, the last major event around 1,050 or so years ago was when that whole nation of upstarts got smoted and became nations fall.
Well then. Good to know.
Good job, Mirror.
Okay. Starting to put-
Matt's not necessarily saying you're directly responsible for it.
No.
Nick is.
It's more of a collective...
I want to be a god. Why are the gods mad?
I'm the fucking Pope now.
Give it to me. Once I finish this, I will be a god. Where did my shit go?
Now Nations Fall to me is just a Monty Python foot going...
Interesting. Okay. Well,
Wow, you guys in the South live a long time.
apparently.
I suggest you get back on it. I mean, it's still a
One.
very good idea.
How long am I?
Yeah, I mean, I have ideas for this already, even just relearning about it. But again,
Funny how that works. It's that
Right.
that little spark will just kind of blossom into a raging inferno of ideas and actions.
I'm really glad I ran into you again.
I'm really glad to see you again too. One of my favorite ideas I've ever heard.
That's an idea. I don't know if I want to share it.
Right? Really?
Did Nick have an idea, or did Toad have an idea?
I mean,
Hey, you just got a huge boner.
Be honest.
It's one of those ideas that it's hard to tell
Okay, so in
whose
that case,
idea it is.
in that case, Hagen is discussing, is still kind of reminiscing and yeah, it's good to see. Then all of a sudden, his face is pulled inexorably towards Todd.
I think we have a sound for this.
There's that spark. Well, out with it.
Oh no, I like it.
Come on.
So,
Nice. There it was.
so the three of us have talked about the Wendigos a bit. And how, they live in the taiga below the glacier. Well, since I'm an accomplished lumberjack now, I wonder...
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
It's
3.
7 pounds.
42.
Three logs.
42.
3 logs of 7 pounds.
Blue.
I wonder if the taiga was to be removed, if that would remove the Wendigos.
You're talking about removing a lot of what equates to landmass, though.
I'm a really good lumberjack now, though.
Are you talking about doing it slowly or in an instant?
Like a clear cut operation. When
slowly.
they're building up a new town, you just kind of carve your way in and then keep expanding. I don't know if the Wendigo are tied to the taiga or if they would just wander around what would then probably just be plains.
You can give me a knowledge. They're undead, I believe. Religion.
That is a 26.
That's really good.
Um,
I'd get that if I rolled a
Wendigo
20.
are not intrinsically tied to a given landmass. If one were to break out in a desert, they would have a desert with Wendigos in it.
Oh God,
That would be terrible.
that would be the worst.
Be all hot and sweaty.
Ugh. Like
So-
sleeping was
See,
hard enough.
So
But-
it seems like chopping down a forest might not actually do much. It might let them travel easier. Who knows? It's hard to tell.
Do I know what creates Wendigos?
Very, very vile magic.
Just magic,
And
though.
other Wendigos.
And other Wendigo. Well,
Okay,
yeah. That's the bad thing about Wendigos. If you're killed by a Wendigo, you become one.
Okay.
Immediately.
So I mean, it's
Well, not immediately. But
it's Resident Evil zombie virus. A scientist makes the virus,
it's a
but
curse.
any subsequent thing that's infected with it creates more.
the original Wendigos, you don't know how they were created. However, they spread via curse. It's similar to lycanthropy, but far, far worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
There's nothing left of the original person. They are just once they are taken by the curse, they are just a Wendigo and only a Wendigo. There is no pulling them back from being a Wendigo.
It's like lycanthropy and herpes had a baby. If you sit on a toilet that a Wendigo used, you become a Wendigo. I know that much.
Can Wendigos even, like, get, like, a virus?
No, they're undead.
Right. I mean, if the whole idea is to get rid of Wendigos, like all of them, right?
Yeah.
Then the thought, you'd have to do something that's going to be able to, like, piggyback on them existing.
Yeah. That's why this is very difficult. I just have a very large sword. And the strength of Gorum, let's be honest.
What if you figured out a way to remove, like, that curse from history?
Ooh, that's a...
Like, go back in time and fuck up
Mirrodin
the
is
ritual?
just a man of ideas, isn't he?
Like, literally, imagine, like, name something you know, like,
Tell if that's
like
character
swords, right?
No, that's-
swords.
Just commentary for
No, this is in
Swords are a
character.
thing.
our viewer at home.
Right?
All of this is in character.
Everybody knows what a sword is.
Yeah.
Right. What if you woke up tomorrow and swords weren't a thing?
Just never existed?
Exactly.
As
It's not like it was there one day, like, hey, remember when we had swords? It would just be like, what the fuck is that? Nobody would even ask the question. It
Yeah.
never existed.
What if we had a really long axe?
this is the most disgusting idea I've ever heard. And I kind of love it in a very unpleasant way.
You could literally erase parts of reality.
I mean, but with powerful enough magic, anything is possible. But I don't know how I would go about doing
That's-
this.
But together, we can figure it out.
You're scary.
I like you.
I like you too.
I like me.
Cause he's my best friend.
All I picture is Krieger running for president to outlaw slavery. So it's just Arnold up there in the podium.
Like I mean,
Economics can fix slavery.
there are priests in the clan that have been trying to develop like basically a way to bless the entire taiga all at the same time, but they haven't been able. So that's been the
That's such a brute force way of doing it.
it's been the
Well, it's
current
reactive.
idea. Yeah. We don't really have time wizards on the ice.
Well, I'm just saying.
This is why I came down here.
This is the opportunity.
Is this still south?
No,
I think
this is
it's
not
still
south.
Up and south?
No. This is like going from one tent to another.
Although,
Southerly 10.
here's a problem with that idea of like erasing Wendigos from time. You start fucking with lots of stuff. Like you guys are really, really like on the whole destroying Wendigos thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Histories, warriors, great legends, and heroes are created by this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you erase them from time, all that goes away too.
That's
Not necessarily.
Well.
I like this idea of erasing very specific things, but not other things.
Well, yeah, but man, as long as nobody pokes holes in it.
Maybe that's the entire purpose, to poke holes in it.
I like.
Let's
that
poke holes in reality. What do you say?
I mean, reality is just a cheesecloth, right?
Yes.
Very big cheesecloth.
I thought for sure you were gonna go. I like this idea.
He took a second to reflect on it and fully agreed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Reality is permeable.
if it wouldn't destroy like the culture that I come from,
Well,
because that would be bad.
I would say at least at this part, like hypothetically, it's a risk.
Well, hypothetically, I also wouldn't realize that my culture had been destroyed.
I would start with something smaller, like erase mosquitoes or something. I don't know. First, as like a test.
Here's the problem. So,
You gotta beta test this shit, otherwise it'll...
again, I like where your head's at. For some reason, the only thing I've ever been unable to do is find a way to get rid of mosquitoes. Many people have had the idea. Everything we try does not work. They seem to be outside of reality.
Oh shit. Mosquitoes are like its own god, but it just...
I've seen One Punch Man. I know how this goes.
Unfortunately, mosquitoes are directly protected by the divine. Not one of the pleasant divine, mind you, but one of the divine nonetheless.
God of nuisance.
Urgathoa, specifically.
And malaria.
Hi, I'm Mary Malaria.
Marilaria.
Malaria. I'm a twin god.
Yeah.
I love good ideas.
Well, I mean, if you could effectively change reality or erase reality, you could literally do any idea
Yeah,
at that point. It would be your catch-all.
And what would be the difference between you and a god at that point?
Mr. Krieger,
Yes.
may I borrow your shield for a moment?
Why?
Because I had... You gave
Pulls
me
it
an...
out and holds it tight.
You gave me an idea.
I like that pulling it out and then holding it tight is safer than just like putting it away.
In your glove.
They reluctantly.
He grabs it and then drops it through the floor.
That wasn't smart.
It'll be returned to you shortly.
Clank noise.
By all means.
Comes back half the size.
I mean no harm.
Shortly.
Shortly.
I mean no harm to any of you. It's good you came here instead of across the way with my wonderful neighbor.
Saw that. Looks
Yeah.
like a righteous bitch.
You have no idea.
What's with the slaves?
It's kind of her thing.
Kinky? I don't know.
You'd think with the chains, but no, it's more the enslavement angle.
So, happenstance partnership? You guys play certain roles?
We played better together as growing up, and as siblings are wont to do. Kind of grew on our own in different ways.
I like your pyramid better than her clock tower.
Thank you.
Yours doesn't look like a penis.
That's true. Well, you'd think, but there are a couple of races.
Can I roll like a knowledge
okay. They're
nature
from the
to
deep,
figure
deep
out which
plains.
race
You'll
that is?
probably never see that. Sure, knowledge planes.
I just pictured so many things.
10.
Yeah, no. They're from the deep, deep outer planes. You'll probably never run into them.
It's like Star Trek when Kirk punches him in the knee. He's actually hitting him in the balls.
Oh. He's a Balchinian.
Right? I was just about to get there.
I've never thought about it until now, but I'm pretty sure an aboleth penis would look like an orca's.
Maybe. I've never thought about aboleth penis or orca penis.
I'm gonna go ahead and keep not thinking about it.
There's a seagull that gets eaten because there's a whale getting jacked off, and the seagull comes down and pecks it on the cock, and the whale just turns over and grabs it.
I would too.
It's really funny. But it's also terrifying.
So, Todd,
Oh, it's me.
your idea is going to take some work, but I
Oh, it does.
guarantee that my engineers can get it done.
Get what, the racing reality?
We'll find a way to make your reality, or your idea, a reality.
Oh no, they're gonna lobotomize you.
I don't know about Westinghouse. I did a good job.
There's always another way.
I go home and they're like, "Did you do it? Do what?"
Oh shit, it's Wishmaster.
I
Go!
learned about falafel. Was that
Luckily-
my quest?
Luckily, I deliver. You'll be hearing from me as soon as my work is complete.
In 300 to 400 years.
I have a question for you.
I'm only
Yes.
one.
Damn
You said that you're no longer, you don't work as well as you used to with your sister, the cockfighter. Right?
Well,
Said they got along better when they were younger.
Yeah, you don't get along as well anymore.
that's true.
Does that mean you are begrudgingly peaceful? Begrudgingly allies? Or
We're begrudgingly neighbors.
But there's no love to lose there.
None at all. She's short-sighted.
Which is odd considering her face is a clock. You'd think that she'd have everything well within her hands.
I don't get it.
That's okay.
Not necessarily, though. You can always see the future. It's the thing you're going to ignore.
I mean, if I can see a dude with a chainsaw screaming and running at me, it doesn't mean I'm going to ignore him.
Yeah, but would you even be paying attention to look?
I don't like it when you're going all gaudy on me.
I'm just saying, think it out. Worst god. We need a better god. God damn it.
Mirrored.
Exactly.
Mirrored. Be a better god. Failed as a wizard, don't fail as a god. Apparently you failed as a human. You're 1,100 years old.
Did I fail as a human?
You're supposed to die.
I'm pretty sure I'm fucking winning as a human. I'm 1,100 years old.
No, you're just lagged.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. He would spend 1,000 years just running into a wall.
What's your ping? Don't fucking...
What's your ping? 10,000 years!
Nice.
Alright, I guess. That's cool. Neat.
Luckily, for Mr. Krieger, your idea is much more tenable with the materials we have on hand.
What are you getting at?
We're improving your shield.
Thank you.
A few ideas that'll grant you all the freedom you could want, while keep letting you maintain your strength, and grant freedom to others as well. As a bonus.
I like where this is going.
Be a fighter for freedom. A freedom fighter, if you will.
Catchy.
Would a freedom fighter
Trademark.
fight against freedom?
A granter of liberty, or libertarian. No. Just no. I like
Should
the...
name my shield Ron and my hammer Paul.
I liked the Reddit post the other day. I saw it's fucking Big Lebowski. It's like, you're not a libertarian. You're just an asshole.
Yeah, I upvoted that one. I commented. That was the first libertarian thing I commented on.
Nice.
This is the first libertarian post I uploaded.
Nice. This is true. So, I presume you would like to leave at some point.
Oh, we don't want to impose.
Well, it's not
I
an
think we
imposition.
got the info we initially came here for.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. I keep running into myths and legends and rumors, yada yada, about this nation's fall shenanigans. What's so bad about the place? Other than it's covered in zombies?
They got uppity and decided that they were better than gods.
Sounds familiar. Go on. Like, what? Why is it so
I
so
didn't
bad
say I
now?
was better than God. A god.
So what's the deal with it now?
It's a wasteland.
God's not real.
Like
God's not real.
a wasteland like our
They are.
own
You're talking to
personal
one.
magic Chernobyl?
Nope.
Or
I'm an atheist.
or a wasteland as in
Yeah, like magic.
shit don't grow.
Like both. It was smoted. Smited? Smitten?
Smitten.
I mean,
Smoted.
I've been that verb before.
Smote?
Doesn't mean I can't grow hair, I guess.
Well, it's been...
How much reading has Mir done on Nation's Fall?
Is that why you're so much smaller?
Since he's...
I would say
really...
to get enough of a gist of the idea of, like, the history of why it...
Okay.
Or where it is now. Like,
Gotcha.
why it doesn't...
So,
Because
Nation...
it was a long time ago. and-
Gotcha. To fill in the gaps.
Compact, yet still effective.
to fill in the gaps, Nation's Fall was smoted, smitten, smited, whatever the fuck that verb is.
Right.
Yay, conjugation.
Yeah.
Was crushed by the gods. And the resultant scar that was left behind seems to be another curse. A curse of undeath. Nothing can live there. It is like the plants and animals. So the plants there are all dead. The animals are undead. The people that weren't completely obliterated are undead. The only thing that can exist there is the dead and the undead.
So the only thing that naturally happens there
Is death.
doesn't have a con score.
Correct.
Okay. So
That said, the other magical energies that were there beforehand are still present and can be harvested. You know of, well, Kriegers even run into this, a few adventurous bands of people that try to quest into there to pull out the riches that remain. It's dangerous, and the deeper in you go, the more dangerous it becomes. But the deeper you go, the more interesting the treasure you may find becomes as well. So it was an entire nation of basically a magical arms race, except it was more, according to the history books, more peaceful than an arms race. It was just an arms race against the gods themselves.
Yeah, you're gonna lose that race.
But they came close. That's the thing. They came close enough that they had to get obliterated.
I'd also imagine that Pharasma's not too happy about that place.
Oh, she hates it.
I mean, if everything is undead.
Give me a religion check from Todd, please.
18.
18. Based on the context, and I don't think you've done much religious studies outside of your own little niche.
I've dipped in my travels.
I don't think you've dipped into the nation's fall legends of the gods. Okay. Not with that particular score. Okay.
Mostly bar rumors.
Sure.
And Holocaust jokes.
Sure. Okay. A few more minutes pass of just chatting. Probably 15 or so. And Hagen pipes up. Well, I believe Mr. Krieger's shield is about finished. We work fast around here.
That was fast.
Since you were able to find your way here, I trust you could find your way back out.
Sure.
He kind of extends one hand as though he's ready to catch something, and out of the ceiling, a large shield just falls heavily into his arms. Ah, there we are. Your shield, I pictured it not very ornate, more just kind of a slab of metal with a handle.
In my mind, it was always the bulwark from WoW.
Right. Just the planks of wood?
No.
Oh, okay.
The Bulwark of Azeroth.
Thank you.
Which fucking one is that?
That's the big one from Black Temple. The big one with the big square with the spikes.
With the spikes? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a tower
yeah.
shield, so it's
Right, okay. The purple one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, got it. I'm right there now. So,
But I also imagine shit weird, so.
no, hey, that works.
We're
That's-
playing D&D. That's pretty much the game.
Have you met the
Like I
character you're talking to? He's got a hoof, 2 different eyes, and his footsteps turn the ground
Goblins
into
to
different
me
metals.
Are still Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc.
That's fine. If that works for you, great. If you're enjoying
Absolutely.
it, great. It's D&D.
Never kissed a lady before.
Nope. Anyway. Yeah. So, the shield. It looks a bit different. In that it almost looks like it's just come out of a freezer. There's like fog coming off of it. It doesn't look frosted, but there's like a just occasionally off of the edges, a little like wisp of fog poofs off of it before it vanishes.
Okay.
And
It's made of unobtainium now.
did it actually have shield spikes on it?
No.
Okay,
Not officially.
got it.
Mechanically.
Mechanically, officially. Nope.
That's fine. I just needed to know. So, directly in the center of it is a small, about the size of like an amulet, like a small necklace, locket kind of a thing. There's a small gem in place right in the center of it. It's that same blue stuff with the red shock through it,
What was it called?
Promethium. So, the improvements we have made to your strength
I'm listening.
are twofold. One, the wielder of the shield always has freedom of movement.
Nice.
As per the spell.
Right. But in character,
I'm the subtitle.
nothing
I'm
can,
the subtitle.
I'm
nothing
the subtitle.
can impede you or bind you down.
I like that.
In addition, even an immovable object is not going to be a problem for you. Because periodically, as needed, you can charge yourself into the ethereal plane itself. And to make sure everyone else can be, or you can free others, you can bring one person with you if you wish.
So, I can teleport to a different plane.
No.
No,
You
go.
can basically go through things.
You go incorporeal.
Yeah.
Basically, you can.
You fucking
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah. You're Nightcrawler with a shield.
You
Nice.
not Nightcrawler.
No,
Because
that's Dementor.
Kitty Pride.
it's
Yeah.
Kitty Pryde,
Kitty Pryde.
and you can basically, when you mechanically speaking, you can make a bull rush or charge through solid objects by warping into the ethereal plane, and you can bring one other creature within melee range with you.
Like I
If
can have
they're
a healer
willing.
with a big sword on in his hands on my back.
Do they have to be
Yes,
willing?
if
Like
he's
Yoda.
if he's alive.
If they are not willing, they have to make a save to stick around.
I'm just making sure.
Sure.
Because
Just go up the
Ideas.
tall tower, grab one of the bad guys, bull rush out,
feather
bull
fall.
rush in.
No, just feather fall him.
Oh,
Climb back up.
bye, bitch.
I like it.
With this, I hope you can grant as many people as you wish their freedom.
I plan on it. Thank you.
Above
welcome.
board, that is a cool fucking idea
That's awesome.
for somebody.
Yeah.
Like Krieger?
Yeah, that is.
It's like, shit, that wall's in the way. Whoop! Nope, it's not!
Well, just in the idea of playing off of the like freeing other people and protection and all. That's
What I
great.
think Matt doesn't know is I have something called stunning interruption.
That's
Stunning
okay.
eruption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I go through the door, or I can essentially Kool-Aid Man a door,
Yeah.
and everybody in the room is stunned.
Right.
You have to break the door though. You can't go through.
So,
Yeah.
yes. Because that's the whole idea, is Kool-Aid Man is the wall explodes and people are like, ah!
Yeah.
This
You
would be
are a
just,
flash.
aha!
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just
The idea with stunning eruption is you are a human flashbang.
But with this one,
so
what you
cool.
can do, if, say, someone is in a cage full of dynamite, you can charge through the cage full of dynamite and drag the person out of the cage
What a
with you.
horrible fucking
Who would
idea.
do that?
Who would ever put somebody in
And
a
then
cage full
who
of
would then
dynamite?
let the alchemist have 28 sticks of dynamite
At level 2.
at
I
level
would.
2?
That sounds awesome.
I'm so happy.
Right?
I'm
That's-
so happy.
I don't know about
That
you guys,
sounds great.
but that sounds like a good fucking time.
It does. It is a good fucking
that
time.
sounds like either a really quick boss fight or a real quick TPK.
It's a really
Either
good
way,
time.
it's gonna be a good
Either
story.
way, it's gonna be awesome.
That game, we still haven't taken shit damage.
It's true.
Plus, he kind of taught me how to wizard last game.
Yeah.
Wizard, I mean witch.
There you go.
Yeah.
Similar. So yes.
Oh, don't worry. You're going into the Gnarlwood.
And don't worry, the Arcanist has been tanking.
I've also been tanking. The alchemist has also been tanking.
The Arcanist has been taking less effectively.
So, yes, with this, I hope you can grant many people their freedom. And may it grant you all the strength and protection you need.
And I bull rush directly at Meard and try it out. I go through him.
Is Meard willing?
No, I go through him.
No, he wants me to be the
You're not
door.
trying to drag him along?
Nope. No
So
dragon.
yeah, you kind of plant the shield, like you get the
Just to scare him.
you get the sense of what you need to do. Give me an intimidation check plus like a shitload.
Plus, like a what?
A shitload.
Shit.
It'll be in my head. Don't worry.
Okay.
So you see Krieger just kind of face you, plant his shield, and you can just hear the boots just start to crush. And go ahead.
14 intimidate.
Okay. And just as very much like Ghostbusters 2, where the train is coming, but it's solid until just before it would hit you, and then he just phases straight through you. You just feel a blast of cold and
I got
wind.
it in my mouth.
Yeah.
Joe,
Yes.
say what you will about the Bang Bros, but Krieger's never been inside me.
So for about a second, like about two footsteps
True.
worth, there is no
You're
sound.
too mini for him want to.
So
I'm just saying.
there's the cacophony of Krieger
him
charging
want
at
to.
somebody, or
Yeah.
charging directly at you. Then there's about a second of silence and just wind rushing past you. And then as soon as that second passes, that cacophony
I'm
immediately returns.
And I'm laughing immediately.
What the fuck?
Beard is just kind of like standing still, just kind of doing that weird little shake. He's like, what the fuck?
You just got fucked by Krieger.
And I put my large hand on his shoulder. I just went inside of you.
Krieger, that was awesome.
That's worse than having a fart in your lungs.
Krieger, that was
I'll do
awesome.
that next one.
Don't ever fucking do that again.
I think my work here is done.
We appreciate your work.
I have other clientele to attend to, if you'll excuse me.
Yeah.
And he just sort of begins to sink, like in quicksand. And as he kind of gestures his goodbye, a small hat appears in his hand as he just kind of waves it and just falls to the floor.
I love you.
The area that he was touching is now, looks like it's made of mithril instead of the steel that the floor is initially.
Help me pick this up. I'm just following him around with a chisel.
The
Ooh, I
the
want that.
door to the platform opens again, and a blast of smoggy wind bursts forth.
I guess I'll go outside.
Is the hook still there?
Yep, and Jeremiah and Juno are also still there.
All right. I want to look down and see where Shyla is.
Oh, she's gone.
Oh, she's not even there.
She got inside somehow.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see exactly where. Jeremiah is saying, I didn't see exactly where, but
Shit.
she was there. Then she's inside somewhere. What are we doing?
Leaving?
Pretty much, we're leaving.
So we're not gonna. He's not gonna try to kill us or anything.
No,
Well, that's good.
he's not that kind. That's not what he is.
No, he helps commit genocide. He doesn't do genocide himself.
He doesn't.
Great.
It's a little
He's just doing his
oversimplified.
job.
For Jeremiah's sake, it's not just genocide. It's ideas. I'll explain it
He's an
later.
arms dealer.
Not entirely.
I mean, kinda.
I mean, partially.
He's a mad scientist arms dealer.
Hmm.
A really powerful one. With magic.
Hmm.
He's also got some kick-ass
Give me
forms.
perception checks, please.
I don't wanna...
Okay, you don't have to.
24.
30.
Nice.
7.
Look at my new shield. It's so cool.
Shiny right there.
He's just bull rushing back and forth between.
So
He's
it's
good.
The phasing is not at will. There is a limitation of times per day.
Ooh, okay, how many?
That's gonna hurt when he figures that out.
You don't know.
Oh, fuck.
I bet a wizard could figure it out for you, maybe.
But you do have a consistent freedom of movement, but only when the shield is out and deployed and actively wielded, not when it's in your glove.
Yeah, you'll need a good one for that. So just keep trying until it fails. That's the limit.
I just keep going through mirrored, back and forth.
So-
I lost count.
With a 24 and a 30, looking across the way, not at the very top of the tower, but a couple of levels below where that creepy demon lady is, you see a large gateway open up. And it seems that coming through it are a few figures that look adult-sized, leading several much smaller figures through the gate, seemingly in a very close-together line. With a 30, it looks like someone has abducted a new batch of children to power the machinery.
They're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
That's true.
Can I tell who? Can I see anything about the adults? Like the crest that I saw for Vector.
You can't make
before.
any sort of symbology.
just
This is
see
like
that-
this is
that-
a couple of miles away, so you can
Figure.
you see big figures and small figures.
You see that open gate over there? If you look above your shield?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You think you can bull rush to there?
All the way to there?
Yeah.
2 miles away.
I don't think that's how Bull Rush works.
Oh, you're the one with the magic shield, man.
And bull rush or charge that you can do.
Bull rush.
Because they just got a new.
I can go 60 feet.
They got a new batch of chillins.
It looks like the gate they have there is not always active, but there seems to be like a portal there, or like a gateway there. So it might not be turned on all the time, but it might be activatable.
New batch of children. Pull the chains.
So
Snap the whip.
I can at least discern that this looks like 2 people, 2 adults and children, or
Yes.
small people.
3/5 person.
And you've this portal is we'll leave it at that because it's a couple miles away. You wouldn't be able to make out any fine details of
That's
what the portal's like.
I'm looking down the scope on my sword.
Yeah.
It helps me aim better.
So what would we like to do?
Apparently, children are just 3/5 of a person, so it's okay if they're slaves.
So you let us know that
Yeah,
they're children, slaves, and all that. Okay. Why would they be bringing slaves to her, though?
I mean, I don't imagine they live very long.
Well, not any idea for her. I'm asking who the people are who are bringing her slaves.
Worshippers? Zealots? Cultists? I mean, look.
Is it that, or is it like a payment for something?
People will worship anything.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
It very well could be a payment. She might have some shadow organization working for her,
Well,
but I
that's what I'm-
guarantee somewhere along the lines there's a zealot.
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, we did come here originally to figure out what's going on with Vector.
Sure.
Are they paying the witch bitch, and she's the one actually, like...
Well, Midas
again-
straight up said he's the one supplying Vector.
Well, yeah, but...
Hagen.
Hagen.
Organized.
Hiroshima. Nailed it.
Nagasaki.
Knock your socks off.
By the time I talk to him again, it's going to be edamame.
Recap. Well, we talked with some dried pea pods.
Well, I'll leave it to you guys. Do we want to deal with that?
Yeah, that's obviously not okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree,
Trigger
but
starts walking that direction.
You're about to
you
fall.
fall off the...
You are about
Krieger starts walking that
I
direction.
grab Krieger.
However, as he's walking in
There's a
that
rope.
as he's walking in that direction, stairs begin to form on the edge of the pyramid wall.
You ropey bitch, you missed this.
This
Sorry.
is gonna be great for my calves. It's the hardest muscle to train.
So
And yeah, so you just start descending stairs if you wish.
Here goes down the stairs.
Cool. I would like to. Does anybody else choose to follow?
Hold on. Will you send?
not yet.
Will you send what's her face a message and let her know that there's stairs?
I don't even know where she is.
Shyla.
Where she is.
No, I know. That was me
Okay.
remembering her name.
I just try to generally point at something and see if I get anything.
I mean, she's generally down.
How long does message last?
Good question.
It's also Cantrin.
It's
But
I
he'd
think
have
it's
to-
only
he
like 10 minutes.
He would need line of effect.
per-
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
It's 70 minutes.
70 minutes?
It would have
Okay.
been 70 minutes from when I originally cast it.
Yeah.
Which was outside?
That was when we were first in before they got caught.
Okay, yeah, it would not have been
Okay.
70 minutes yet, so you would have message available
Okay.
if she's in range.
The shotgun.
I just point kind of in a couple directions. I mean, I'm not going to
You-
sit there and just.
You don't catch anything, but you also think it might be because you're going through too much material.
Okay.
And she's sneaky.
I don't think that's how
And
it
there's
works.
a distance.
Well, no, it's like even if she heard it, she might not be in a position where she could answer.
It's true. But ultimately, don't split the party. It's her fucking fault.
That's true.
Yeah. So we cut the rope, leave that bitch.
Fuck you, bitch.
How much
You
experience?
get the
can
grapple hook and the rope.
Yeah.
And put it in your bag.
Well, weird.
Also, I would also like to make a note as we were all coming out, if there was a moment where like everybody was leaving, I would like to take the page that he gave me, kind of roll that up and put it in my box of holding my king's
Okay.
box, without anybody knowing where I put it.
Nice.
I
Sleight of
don't
hand
pay
check.
attention.
All right. Ooh. I can only go. Yeah, I can only use 10. I can only do 10.
You do it as slyly as Meard can.
Okay.
I'm decidedly preoccupied when we're walking out.
Then in that case, you do it successfully because Krieger's going.
Yeah. Muzzle off.
And then I follow Krieger after watching him go down a little ways.
Okay. Yeah, the stairs remain long enough for you to follow.
Okay.
Jeremiah and Juno also follow because they exist.
Yes, I do.
I will try to point again for the message real quick and just say, Shyla, if you can hear this, like we're leaving, you need to come out. We figured out some stuff about what's going on here.
On the next to her grappling hook, I'm going to pull out my chalk and like over the ledge, not on
Sure.
top of the platform, but over the ledge, just write stairs and put an arrow, and then on the other side of the stairs, put another arrow, and then next to the other arrow, I'll just write trust me.
Got it.
So it's Hopefully she doesn't step
I
off
have
to
a
her own
feeling that's
death.
not how these things work.
If we get experience out of fucking nowhere, we'll know she died.
Ding! What the fuck? I was sleeping.
Hagen did that shit just for us.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do that shit for her. Bitch.
So, I would like Constitution checks, please.
Is this forced march?
14.
Or just con checks?
Con checks.
13.
Just wanted to be sure.
14?
14.
13?
8.
It's plus modifier, right?
Yep.
Well, yeah, plus the con mod. Or plus the I said con checks, didn't I? Yeah, I'll take that. That's fine. Should have been a fortitude save, but we'll stick with con checks. So yeah, your legs are burning. You're really missing the T from the beacon.
No pain, no gain.
Team made you soft.
But yeah, you descend the 500 feet into the cloud layer. It's very smoky. You can't see much, but the stairs continue. They seem to form as you're stepping, which is a bit disconcerting at first. But eventually you just kind of get into the grind of descending. And about an hour of descending later, a slinky is following you.
Go,
It
Slinky,
got stuck, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah. You guys get down You finally descend below the cloud layer.
I want to sit on my butt like a child and like slide for a while. No.
It's hard to tell how long you're or how far you've descended through the clouds, but once you break through the bottom layer, there's another 700 feet or so of stairs.
Let me know if you need a piggyback ride.
What floor are we on? 17, I think. Let me know when we get to 20.
I'm gonna throw up.
I'm gonna throw up.
Let me know if you need a piggyback ride because you weigh like nothing.
So you get to the very bottom. The slinky stops at the second stair.
Oh, so close. Can we do it again?
No,
One more time.
you speak what you do.
You speak what you do.
And yeah, you are back kind of where you were, at least in the same general atmosphere where you were before. There's scrap everywhere. Weird little creatures picking things up. You did see a few more of those mechanical bird creatures. However, they're not harassing you, and there are no mechanical hounds scraping their ways down the wall to attack you.
That's good.
How high was the gate up from where we are now? Like, based on we knew kind of where we were generally.
Not
like,
quite as high as you were. It looks like the pyramid was the larger structure,
Okay.
but there's probably
Like, were you thinking like halfway up the? Like, was it like red at clouds? Was it above
it was
that?
just above the clouds.
Just above the clouds. Okay.
So you probably have maybe 1,000 feet or so
to ascend.
Yeah, ascent in the clock tower. That'll be fun.
Glad that's all.
Yeah, I'm gonna start heading towards the clock tower.
Okay. Cool.
I will follow suit, and while we're doing that, I'm gonna go. So, does anybody else have like a plan on how to get up there without us being completely wiped out?
We climb.
Climb.
I said without being completely wiped out.
Don't fall.
Climb well.
No, I mean like tired when we get there.
Yeah, muscles. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
So, I would like Krieger to roll a dice, please.
Oh boy. Okay. What am I rolling?
I don't care. What dice did you roll?
D20.
What'd you get?
15.
15. So, the landscape between you and the tower looks to be not nearly as mechanical. It looks like you're on a different face of the pyramid, because instead of seeing the pile of dunes of junk and scrap and rust monsters, the land in front of you. Land is the wrong term. This
Debris field in front of us?
no, you wish.
The refuse?
Swamp?
The area in front of you almost looks like it's breathing.
Ew.
So, like, there are things that resemble trees, except they're clearly not trees because they're all very uniform in color. They seem to be just growths coming out of a mass,
Gills.
and like stuff is like dripping out of them. There are pockets that seem to blister up and pop. There, you can see movement of some sort of wildlife out there.
Is everything still covered in garbage?
This area, not as much.
I want to stab it
Okay.
when you're done describing it.
Yeah. So there are like little patches of grass, except as you get closer, you realize there are little patches of hair, things like that. This, the best way to describe this would be like the churning fields, as that's the heading that comes up as you enter the area.
Alright. Before I stab it, I want to punch it.
Okay. You punch it, and the ground recoils, and then kind of goes back to where it was.
Now I'm going to stab it.
You stab into it, and you get purchase on it. And as you pull out, nothing comes out. It doesn't look like it's bleeding or anything like that.
Pulled out too soon.
Better than too late.
I have kids, so
We should know.
I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
You also have kids.
Right. but I'm proud of him.
He understands I can't
He
handle
did
them.
it right. Somebody here
It's the
couldn't
first
pull out
time
the
Greg
driveway.
said something nice about me.
I did it on purpose.
I also don't have kids.
Different reasons, though.
Oh, you couldn't just give it to him. Come on.
That's because you're responsible
Because
enough.
he didn't find a 19-year-old.
Matt just puts everything away. I don't want to play anymore.
No, this is all I have.
You'll find your own 19-year-old Asian girl. Don't worry.
No, I'm
Yeah,
good.
right.
He's 20.
I'm good.
Now.
She's almost 21.
No, she's 20 when I met her.
It's like Andy. Hey, don't worry. They've been dating for like 6 years.
It's fine.
That's nothing.
And Quinn is fully awesome. She's great.
I just don't understand why she still sleeps next to me. She could do so much better. It's because she's stupid.
It's because she's stupid.
Make sure you listen to this episode when it comes out.
Just, you gotta cut all the nice shit. Just be like,
The entire
"Yeah,
episode
you're-
is just
you're-
Nick talking.
You're gonna find your own Asian chick. Because she's stupid.
So,
I'll
yes.
get you a magazine. Don't worry.
I have the internet.
Yeah. It's like the Ultimate magazine with a sticky keyboard.
Oh,
That's why I got a mechanical one.
do not press that shift key 4 times fast.
Sticky keys!
It's the J key that never comes back up. It's the annoying thing.
So, yeah, so you stab the ground again?
No, just stab it the one time.
Okay. So, yeah, it does kind of close back up, but it doesn't bleed or anything like that.
Interesting. Looking at the wound before it closes back up, did it look like it was muscle tissue or fibrous?
Parts of it are fibrous, and parts of it are just like, just really, really, really thick skin.
Okay. Guys,
It seems like a mishmash of everything.
I've determined that this is really gross.
Is there anything on the ground that's not that yet? Like, we're not on that yet.
Before
right?
you get to that, it is still like the steel plates in the vents and things.
But is there anything, like, basically, I want to find something
That's
dig it.
rock-esque?
Okay. Before you get to the churning fields, there is some rock. It looks like it's rust that's been disintegrated and just kind of recondensed into stone.
Okay. I want to find something small and basically worthless that I could throw
Easy.
on it.
Easy.
Okay, so I pick something up and throw it on there to
Jeremiah.
watch what happens.
It just bounces.
Okay, and it doesn't, like, get absorbed or
No.
anything like that. Okay.
No.
The giant mouth. Just
Yeah,
come
there's
up
no,
in the
like,
distance.
giant,
It's not-
land shark comes up and eats it or some shit.
It's not react. It doesn't seem like it's a creature.
Okay.
It just seems like it's organic matter that has just kind of
There.
been left here and is just condensed into just the
It's
landscape.
original T100s.
Okay. Alright. Just check.
That said, as soon as you step on it, it becomes a gibbering mouther and eats all of you.
Zach.
That would impede my freedom of movement.
I have a freedom to exist. No, you don't.
Not anymore. Fuck.
I'm a libertarian. I don't give a fuck.
So cool. I don't know how I didn't add a link to the gibbering mouther in my description of this area. I'm stupid. Oh well. Yeah. So you guys begin to trek across the chaotic folds and crevices
How
of
far
the
away
churning
is it
fields.
from Pyramid to Tower?
I believe I said it was a few miles.
Yeah, 2 miles.
Okay, that's nothing.
Yeah.
This might be a really weird question, but does this entire area smell like a tonsilith?
No.
Okay, that's good.
It smells like rot.
Yeah, like tonsilith.
I don't know what a tonsillis smells like. I've seen a picture. It's gross. Don't tell me. I'd rather not imagine it again. It smells a bit like rot, a bit like sweat. It's a mixed bag.
Right.
Give me some perception checks. 1, 2, 3, 4.
23.
17.
Nice.
Okay.
26.
Fuck you guys.
So one thing I can roll well.
I'm gonna beat you guys on a swim check.
Are you?
Then you'll be sorry.
Maybe. Or climb.
I have a 10 to my climb right now with 1 rank.
11 to mine. A 2.
Cool.
Oh, wait a minute.
So, 17, 20? Something?
Yeah. Like
23.
20.
23? Okay. So,
Did you get 26? Something around there.
up in the sky, a lot of you hear a terrible screech. And as you look up, you see a lean, kind of scaly beast thing with a single eye that stares out from a face that's completely covered in tentacles that surround a very toothy beak. It's got very expansive, leathery bat wings, and it looks like 3 of them are diving down at you.
How many hours has it been since we started fucking with the pyramid?
I would say 3. It took a while to climb down.
Okay. Joe, we still have shield other active.
But
Shield other?
I would love some initiatives from everybody, please.
Plus 1 to our ACs, plus 1 to our saves, and I take half your damage.
Oh, perfect.
Because it lasts for 7 hours.
Sweet.
18.
Yeah, if you could find something fleshy on...
Pornhub.
No. On Sirenscape. I should not have hesitated.
Actually, kind of hurts. Slowly.
Fleshy.
Into the big black penis, please. Sounds like a night after Taco Bell.
Right?
Why is there a rat that wants to fuck food?
It's supposed to be conscious.
I know, but it's a rat.
It does look very ratty as a stick figure.
It has a fluffy tail.
Cool. So,
Chinchilla?
Guys,
what did Mir
what
get
are
for his
all these?
initiative?
14.
14. Perfect.
I'm downloading.
Cool. Toad, you are up first. These things are diving down on you. They actually, we'll say that they kind of leapt out of one of the weird fleshy tree things and are now diving down on you. They are 30 feet above you. There are 3 of them.
As a swift action, I will cast. Can you do a swift action and still ready a standard?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. I couldn't remember for some.
I'm okay with that.
I will.
Because you can do move and ready as well.
Yeah. I will cast my greater stunning barrier
Cool.
on myself with a swift action with fervor because that's awesome. Gives me a +2 to AC, and when people hit me, they have to make saves. And I will ready in action to hit them with my real big sword.
Okay. You ready in action to hit one of them?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
one of them.
Whichever comes in range first. Kriga is up.
I'm not gonna be picky.
They are 30 feet above the lot of you.
I move next to Meard to protect Meard.
Cool.
Jeremiah.
I like it.
They're too far away for me to hit, so I just...
Ready up to hit him?
Yep.
All right, Meard.
As soon as they're within range.
There's 2.
3.
3. How far away are they now?
30 feet above you.
30 feet above. How close are they to each other?
About 10 or 15 feet apart.
Like 15 feet from each
Yeah.
side of like that?
Give or take.
It's oldie but a goodie. Let's fireball the middle one and
Cool.
get them all.
Reflex saves from all 3. What's the DC?
DC would be on this page over here. It's a level 3 spell. It's a 17.
It's a 6, 7, and a 3. So roll your damage.
Holy shit balls. What is that? 66? Oh, crap. Can I do the staff thing?
If you choose to.
If the infusion of the spell or whatever?
If you choose to.
I would. What does that do to it again? It increases it by 1/3?
Half.
By half.
So increases the damage, the dice you would roll by 1/2. So if you roll 66, you would roll 96.
96.
Give me a knowledge planes
Knowledge plane.
before you do that.
Okay. Yeah,
Bad?
let's see. Let's see. Planes. That's a 12.
Okay. Yeah, you don't know what these creatures are.
Okay.
They're not they're medium sized, so they're big. They're not like little tiny birds.
Okay.
But you don't really know much about these.
What they're okay. So I'll roll d6 first. So 4, 5, 9, 12, 18.
Okay.
18 plus these 3. 18, 21, 24, 30.
30 points of damage. Very nice. So, as you tap into that inner reservoir of flame energy, of that fire from Tefra's staff, you cast forth a fireball, and instead of the vibrant red, almost pinkish flame that you're accustomed to seeing, it's still that same color. However, as it travels through the air, little globs of it seem to be falling off, and it seems more lava-like. It's still very much a fireball, and it still explodes as it would normally. But
it's acting as if it's like a thick liquid.
Exactly.
So it's plasma, kind of plasma-ish.
Well, fire's a plasma.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it's more molten gooey kind of. It's more napalmy than you're used to.
Okay.
Like as the flames engulf all three creatures, it knocks the two on the edges just completely off kilter, and it seems like they're falling out of the sky. But you can see bits of the flame are stuck to them and continue to burn and sear the flesh.
Nice.
One of them, the one you hit directly on, doesn't come out of the fireball. It's just gone.
Nice.
The other two fall and splat into the ground, which, since they're still burning, start to sizzle and pop on the ground itself.
I guess I put my sword away.
You would think that,
You'd think that.
but with the ground kind of recoils with the heat, and as it does, you can see something like moving just underneath it very quickly, and it bursts out of the fleshy ground. Is another creature. This one is... What the fuck is wrong with Charlie? This one seems a little bit larger. It's not quite as big of as a horse, but like a large boar type. But it seems to be longer. Fuck off. Yeah. This creature, almost like an eel. What the fuck? Go away. Stupid pop-ups. I don't have an iPhone. Go away. This creature, the front end of it is just a whirling maw, like just whirling rows of sharp teeth that all just kind of spin in different directions. It's hard to see if this thing has eyes at all, but it seems to just kind of sense where food is and tries to just charge. It seems to want to just charge into anything, just to kind of grind up whatever food just by slamming right into it. It's like almost like a boring machine where it just crushes its way through food.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it really, really is.
That's fucking terrible.
The bodies of the two smaller creatures quickly find their way into that thing's mouth as it just kind of traverses, and it just is churning, grinding a scar through the fleshy ground as it's burrowing through. And it seems to... it then turns and heads in your direction.
Fuck.
It has a burrow speed of 10 feet, and those things were about 20 feet away.
Kill me, I'm here.
Let's see if this thing can charge.
kill me now.
So-
You ugly motherfucker.
It can't burrow to you, but it senses there's more food. So instead, it leaves the ground and begins to fly on these like leathery ribbons that seem to be cascading down its sides.
Just
Land
keeps
shark.
getting worse.
I
Right?
said land shark. I told you.
Well, that's a boulet.
That's a boulet, and this thing is more like flying now. It flies into the air and
Sky
is
shark. I said sky.
Just wait until you see a shadow shark. Then you'll shit.
Hound has.
Heck.
Yeah, Hound has. It actually gets. It picks up a lot of speed as it takes to the air, and it gets within range of both Toad first and then Krieger.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay.
I rolled 2d20. I have a plus 12. Does a 16 hit?
No.
No, I didn't think so. Carry on, wayward son.
So you swing your
Phone's ringing.
gigantic sword, try to get like directly into its mouth to gain purchase, but the counter-rotating rows of teeth kind of grind and clack away the sword. It gets jarred and then bounces itself out.
That's what happens when you roll a 3 and a 4.
Yep. Krieger's attack.
One hand power him.
Okay. Shield at the ready.
Shield at the ready. Attack 16.
Does not hit.
Alright.
So you swing your hammer. It hits leathery flesh, but doesn't seem to cause much of an effect. However, it does cause the creature to wheel in your direction.
Huzzah.
Okay.
That's going to attack Krieger.
I'm going to take my second attack.
That was a
It's
ready
full
action.
attack. You can only take your second attack on a full attack.
Yeah.
Oh.
So so you readied your action for your single attack, and it's this thing's turn. You can roll another knowledge planes if you guys would like.
6. Figured I'd get that terrible roll out of the way.
Does a 33 hit Krieger's AC?
Oh my.
Does.
22 for knowledge plane.
This is a Whirlmaw.
A whirlmaw.
Yes, it is.
The world is a whirlmaw, or something like
It's
that.
like I said before, a medium aberration. It has a fly speed, or has a land speed of 10 feet, a burrow speed of 10 feet, and a fly speed of 90 feet.
Oh shit!
God. Alright.
It typically likes to dive down on creatures, and burrow them into the ground with a charge.
That makes sense.
Luckily, he doesn't quite have the angle to do that here. And typically, where these things usually live, the leathery flaps of skin can kick up a lot of dust, and can basically create a fog around it if need be, if it's hovering. However, there's no dust to kick up here, so that's probably not going to be the case.
Yay!
Which is great news.
Now it just shoots spines out of something.
Nope, nothing like that.
That's good.
However, it is going to do some damage to Mr. Krieger. 13 points of piercing grinding damage, which is unpleasant. And since you are not small, wait, small or larger creature,
That's right.
it is going to try to grapple you. That is a very low check. So it does manage to bite you. Its mouth is large enough that its teeth do sink into vulnerable bits. But you can also feel the teeth grinding against the metal plates of your new armor. It's trying to burrow into you, but your armor is very good at resisting that kind of thing. So eventually,
Very armor-like.
it does disengage. Luckily, which brings us to the dead things. Which brings us to Toad.
Ow. Get this off of me.
Alright. First, I'm going to cast a Divine Favor on myself,
Okay.
which gives me currently a +2 on attack and damage.
Cool.
So that'll help. And I'm going to go smack it.
You should do that.
for whiteboards.
Yeah.
27.
Hits.
Hits?
Hits.
Sweet Jesus. I get to ignore that
Gonna
one.
kill it.
I get to ignore that one. Because it can go suck a dick.
It's a lot of 60s.
2 is acid,
Cool.
if that makes a difference.
It does not, but it does more damage.
Okay. Then I will not note it. It's 11, 12, 14, 16, 21, 25, 30, 32, 39, 49 damage.
And 2 of that's acid?
Yes.
Fuck, dude.
Is there a difference with acid?
No.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure it was included.
Yeah.
So 49 points of damage. So,
Yes.
you bring your sword sideways into as much flesh as you can tear through. Like I said, this is only a medium-sized creature, so there's a lot of flesh that you tear through. Yeah. And it looks like inside there are more grinding, whirling teeth. It seems like this is, as much as a shark has mouth and liver, this thing is just grinding teeth.
Okay.
That did a lot of damage, and the thing starts to bleed black and green blood like everywhere, just viscera everywhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna scream at it.
Cool. Intimidate check. Or
That's
yeah.
standard action. I'm just
Gotcha.
gonna scream at it.
Okay. Krieger, you're up. This thing looks somewhat distracted by a large gouge that was just pried out of it.
I'm going to try to one-hand hit that fucker again.
Do it.
24 hit.
Hits.
13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. Hammer goes like into the top lip of it, and you can feel one of the rows of teeth just break.
Alright.
So that brings it to 62 points of damage. Brings us to Mr. Meard.
Where is it now? It's still in the air, flying at us.
It's pretty much on the ground, biting at Krieger.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna. I'm gonna put a flaming sphere on it.
Okay. So make a reflex save. It's going to. What's your DC?
I think that's a 16.
It actually makes its reflex save.
16, yeah. Okay.
I made a reflex save against Flaming Sphere, everybody!
Yay!
Woo!
Good job, buddy.
For my movement, I'd like to roll it at it.
I made a better reflex save!
Hey!
So roll your damage twice and half of it each time, right? Because it's still half reflex
yeah,
save for
it's
half,
reflex.
or is it reflex negates?
Reflex negates.
Oh, cool. So it dodges both times.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like eel-like and kind of wriggly.
Wah, wah.
So I picture this thing as being more long than it is wide.
Right.
So it's kind of like a hagfish where it's just like twisting around on itself
Like
and
that,
just dodging out of the way of the flaming sphere.
Cool.
I just have to ask real quick.
Yeah.
Does it have the plant subtype?
It does not.
Okay, just making sure.
It is an aberration.
Just making sure.
It's a good question.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay.
It's a good question. It's the Whirl Maw's turn, and it did not like being hacked in half.
Bring it, you little cocksucker.
So it's going to try to bite at Mr. Toad, and it's going to roll a 15 plus a bunch.
Does it have to move away to do that?
No.
No, because it could take a 5-foot fly, so to speak.
Yep, got it.
Well, and I'm up in his face as well.
Well, I figured you hit it at range with your sword, 10-foot sword.
My sword doesn't have range though. Remember?
It's a large-sized sword.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. We decided not to deal with that headache.
Good call.
Yeah.
Cool. So, 31 to hit.
Yes, but I need a will save. DC 16.
Ooh, good call. 11. Will save. Got a 19.
Okay. Nothing happens this round. Made it safe.
Okay. So it's all good? It
all
can
good.
do damage?
Yep.
13 points of damage.
It's not bad.
And it's going to make a grapple check. And it rolls a 4. So,
I don't think that's gonna hit.
19 to hit your CMD.
Wow. But no.
Oh, cool.
Wow. A 15 CMB. Wow.
Yeah, it's like this thing is
That's
designed to
real
do
good.
this.
It's more than me.
It's almost like it has mine plus improved and greater swallow.
It's almost like it's got an idea of what it's trying to do all the time.
Yeah, that's just... Still, though, that's impressive.
Yeah. So 19 does not hit.
No, 19
So
does not hit.
it managed to bite you, but you can you quickly push it off before it can gain purchase.
Yeah.
Possibly because it's got a broken row of teeth.
Maybe because I'm wearing a giant foreskin.
Or that. It's not a foreskin. It's a purple worm armor.
No biting.
No teeth.
Brings us back to Toad.
First date, no biting. No,
Um,
just me? Never mind.
No, stop.
No,
I'm going to
stop.
drop my Invisibility Purge as a 3rd level spell and cast a 3rd level healing spell on myself as a swift action that does not provoke. Will you roll 3d8 for me?
I can do it.
Okay, 17 plus 7 is 24. 54, 61.
61 points of damage?
I am at
You're
60.
at 6. I was like, what?
No, I was mathing my current
Okay.
hit points. So that's my swift action. I'm gonna hit it again.
Okay.
Screaming real.
Nice.
Ah, critical threat!
Okay. Roll again.
1. What was it?
Its armor class
Why
is
did
100.
you do that?
It's a heart.
Is it a
Its
1?
armor class is 102.
Yes.
I hit it.
What's your did you roll both for the confirm or just one?
You just roll 1 on confirm.
Oh.
After Joe said he's going to roll 1.
I know the
Did you
fucking
actually roll a 1
future.
for your confirm? Yeah. That sucks.
He is a wizard.
Which,
We give him shit about being a bad wizard.
He's a diviner. He's really good at it.
He's a seer.
I have abilities. I have no idea. I know.
He's a better oracle than a wizard sometimes.
21, 24, 34, 43.
43. I'm sorry you didn't crit, but you do manage to cut the rest of the way through this creature.
That was my first crit check.
You'll get it next time.
I know.
So you managed to cut this thing in half.
Yay!
And the other halves
there are
keep
2.
fighting.
No! It's a flatworm! No!
Fucking Hydra. Can
So,
we stop with
had-
that chopping thing?
Had this thing managed to make those grapple checks,
That would have been real bad.
it does an immediate 46 plus 12 points of damage as it burrows through your flesh.
If
Holy
it had
shit.
failed that will save, it would have been stunned for 1 round.
That's also cool. Alright, cool. Well, you have dealt with that immediate threat,
What is our next immediate
All right.
but you continue to travel towards the clock tower. And Jeremiah was paralyzed with fear because it was icky and gross.
He was off looking for an exotic mushroom.
He just thinks the whole thing is icky and gross, so he's like tiptoeing everywhere. So it's like, ugh.
Bears wouldn't let him fight.
I'm really terrible about forgetting that people exist.
It's fine.
I'm sorry, Tyler.
Jesus and Muhammad.
They both exist. They're not here.
Yeah.
Where's Mo at?
Mo is at the keep.
Yeah.
Why take him through the gate? That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. No, I left him and my child.
Cool. So as you continue traveling, the place almost seems mountainous sometimes. Not like full on huge mountains, but it seems hilly, and there are
Dunes.
geographical features to this place. But it's all
Rolling hills.
but they're actually rolling.
Rolling,
It's
right,
gross.
like walking on a big fat chick.
Yeah.
Give it 1 good hump, and we'll ride the ripples.
Kyle's ears perk up. What? I'm waiting to give him shit about that in game.
Do it. That's fine.
There, you find at one point there's actually as you travel, we'll just straight up make this an obstacle. You come across a river.
Oh.
However, this river is green, and it just reeks of. Well, it reeks of bile because it's a river of bile. You have no idea what would be feeding this river of bile, but lo and behold, here we are.
How wide is it?
I
I had to ask.
No, it's a good question. I almost rolled a d20, but then there's a very likely chance I would just get a 1 and be like, it's 1 feet wide. It's more of a creek.
I'm on the east bank. I'm on the west bank.
That's a reasonable number. It is 33 feet wide.
Oh, no.
Do you want to see how deep it is?
No.
No. No.
No. Can we cut down a flesh palm and make a raft? I'd rather sit on a finger than step in that shit. Yeah, I said it.
I can rush through with one of you.
I can dimension door the other. That still leaves a cat here.
Kitty can swim.
Let's vote. Jeremiah swims it.
Fuck you.
Vote?
No, I'm not voting.
Okay. The trees around here, the well, quote unquote trees.
Mm-hmm.
Do they look like they would be buoyant?
It is impossible to tell.
How girthy are they?
Some are a few feet wide, like normal trees. Some are less than that.
I want to try and chop one down.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
A lot.
Okay, you hit it. However, it does not, unlike the trees, the natural trees you've come across, it is not immediately felled.
Okay.
But if you'd like to roll damage, go ahead.
Does it have the plant subtype?
No.
That's what.
A lot of damage?
A lot of damage.
So you do chop through it.
I rolled really well. Holy shit.
Yeah. You do chop through it, and it looks... The best way to describe it is it's a very... It's like this one is a 9-foot skin tag. With, like, almost plant-like leaves and fingers growing off of it.
Alright, let's see if it floats.
Give me a strength check to drag it over to the river.
Just fucking done.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're super strong.
Is it more than 24,000 pounds?
No.
Then I drag it over there.
Okay, you drag it over there.
No.
By
I
yourself.
want to see a strength check.
No.
No. I have a thing for this.
No. He drags it over there because he's super duper strong.
And I started this game with one magic item. It was my muleback cords.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
One.
Stronger than he looks.
So
He's really
you kick
strong,
it into the
except
river
for every other strength check.
and give me a higher low.
I'm a good pack mule.
Higher low.
Hi.
Okay. So the bile begins to take it downstream, and it mostly sinks.
It's not gonna work. Unless we got is there one that's like 40 feet tall?
No.
Is there a 40-foot skin tag? That's fucking disgusting.
I have a question.
Yes.
A mechanics question.
By all means.
If I cast floating disc, and then I cast dimension door,
No.
it doesn't
Well-
come with me through the dimension door, or is it like it's lagged and it's gonna catch up?
Doesn't the floating disc have a range stipulation on
Yes.
it?
It stays 3 feet behind me at all times.
No, it is. Doesn't it have a range stipulation where if you go out of X range, it no longer...
It says it stays behind you, 3 feet behind you at all times, which I don't think actually has. Please double check me. But
If
basically
you
that
move
means
beyond its range or try to make the disc more than
Okay.
3 feet away from the surface beneath it.
it will go away.
So yeah, if you go,
Okay.
if you move beyond its range,
So yeah,
what
if
is
you-
its range? Like the range of the spell.
Close, 25 feet.
plus 5 feet per 2 levels. So actually, I would still be in range.
You could do it.
Barely.
Then yeah.
So you could dimension door and it would just catch up.
But
You can throw it.
it says specifically
If only there was a
3 feet
dwarf here that
above
you could
the.
skip across it.
It says
The one time this would come up.
right. It specifically says 3 feet above the ground. So does that mean it would go under the
It
water?
would go above that.
It would go above the water?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I can get 3 people across. Or, well, we did Tyler and Juno before, but I mean, 3 feet diameter is.
I mean, they don't weigh that much.
Yeah. I mean, I can get a person or 2 on the disc, and then I can dimension door another person.
Dimension door this guy. And
Well, I mean,
there's no.
I can't get everybody across.
Well, no. If you dimension door him, then there's just the three of us. Me, Jeremiah, and Juno.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we could absolutely get on the disc.
Okay. Does that work mechanically to have them all three on the disc?
How much?
Weight-wise, yes. Space-wise,
That's what
I could hold the cat.
We can throw the cat across.
Like the cat doesn't need to sit there.
It's a cat.
I can.
it's a large-sized cat.
Have you met me?
I know.
I can hold him above Jeremiah as long as the weight doesn't exceed it, and as long as I can make the lift check.
Let's say okay.
It's a
So-
large-sized cat now, isn't it?
Uh-huh. So, let's dimension door across.
Well, I need to cast floating disc first.
Well, that.
So floating disc. Then
Load up.
I grab him and dimension door across
Okay.
while they're on it.
Grab him and dimension door across.
I grab Krieger.
Krieger.
Okay.
I can lift almost 5,000 pounds over my head. His cat does not weigh 5,000 pounds.
That's really cool. So, as the disc begins to
It lurches forward, you all fall.
as the disc begins to float across the river, I need to know what Krieger's CMD is.
Bile shark.
26.
26. It's possible. So, let's see, how many of those does he have?
I know I didn't change the music, but I feel like we're still in like.
No, I was just thinking I'd dig the Castlevania vibe.
That's good.
Still getting over some shit, so let's.
Okay. That's a 3. That's a 4. That's a natural 20.
Oh.
And that's a 14. So,
Did the shit crit on me?
Literally, it was shit too. Like it's a bile river, man.
I do-
so
Anus.
out of the, say about 20 feet across. Well, actually, first off, about 10 feet across, 2 tentacles erupt from the bile and lash out to try to grab you, and do not get anywhere.
To grab Krieger?
Yeah.
We dimension door.
Yes, he dimension doored. You
With him.
floated across the river.
No.
Oh.
No. He came with me.
Then who was on the dimension door?
Him, Jeremiah,
Okay.
and the
Me,
cat.
Jeremiah, and the cat are on the disc.
Okay.
He was dimension.
So what's
door
your CMD?
25.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I still get you. So, the tentacles reach up and try to grab at you.
I
But do
throw
not
the
get
cat
purchase.
at them. What?
About 20 feet across, 2 more tentacles come out and grab you by the legs.
Oh.
With a 35 and a 27.
Yeah, no, they'll do it.
Okay. So as they grab you, the disc continues to move, and I need a... Either we'll let you decide a strength check to throw the 2 of them, the last 10 feet to the bank, or a reflex save to try to maintain your hold on the disc, but dropping Jeremiah and Juno.
Question. Can I beat the tentacles with Juno? I am proficient with large weapons.
No. The answer to that is no.
I just really wanted to
Hit
be
a
able to tell
motherfucker with
Tyler
another
that he
motherfucker.
didn't show up to game, and I beat a tentacle monster with his pussy.
I know.
Is it true you beat a guy to death with a dead cat?
So,
No, the cat
you have-
was
you
alive.
have-
No, I'm absolutely
While
throwing him across.
traversing
Okay,
a
so
river
strength
of
check.
shit.
I would be impressed if anybody
19.
could tell me that.
You managed to
movie.
throw Juno, and I'm going to roll for Jeremiah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, his acrobatics will be better than my throw.
Right. He rolled a 13 plus his acrobatics,
is
which
good.
means he vaults off of Juno as you're about to throw him, and he jumps the other 10 feet standing because he's very acrobatic. He's very nimble.
Yeah.
And the
He's
cat
nimbly
gets
nimbly.
across as Toad falls into the bile.
Fuck.
No, it's bile. You take 21 points of acid damage as you splash into the bile.
Fuck.
Mouth closed.
Acid?
Acid. So,
I was distracted by the large pussy.
let's roll new initiatives.
Shit. Nice.
6.
Plus my modifier. 7.
12! And I really thought I was going last.
Alright, it's time for Joe to look up some specifics about fucking spells again.
And you can unpause whenever. If you paused it at all.
Yeah, I didn't pause at all.
Okay.
I just made a note.
God damn it. Like, I've had Liberating Command prepared for so long.
That sucks.
And I remember, I was like, oh, cool. I might, like, when this shit hits the fan, I'll be able to use this. I totally forgot it was an immediate action.
That sucks.
Yeah. And it's a verbal component, which you can't do underwater.
There is that.
Well, I could have done it before I hit the water.
Oh, sure. So, okay. First things first. Whatever was attached to those first tentacles on the early side of the river,
Yeah.
about 10 feet, or about 5 feet from the bank, begins to emerge. The creature itself, it looks like an amorphous blob of a creature with 4 large tentacles that have graspers on one end and eyes on the other.
Am I wrong in thinking Ochu?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no, you're not wrong. The main blob also has a large mouth with, you know, those like deep sea fish that have the clear teeth. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that, where the teeth seem to almost be made of flesh, but they're still very hard and pointy somehow. The creature looks like it thrives in refuse. If you would like to make me knowledge engineering checks, by all means.
I'm not opening my eyes in this bile.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Knowledge engineering.
19.
27.
This isn't either an Otu or an Akyug, whatever. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. 2 of the tentacles have the weird little Barbie things. 1 tentacle has just covered in eyes, like at the end of a weird little pad. So it has 1 eye stalk for seeing, and the other 2 are just grabby, and then there's still center bitey mouth. So, these are actually large sized. Yeah, you pretty much know that their bites carry a disease with them. That is very unpleasant. It kind of paralyzes you and saps all of your...
27. I better know fucking everything.
Right.
I want to know where his mother lives.
What's his nickname in 3rd grade?
They do have a reach of 10 feet, which is how they were able to reach out of the thing and grab. But other than that, they're not terribly special other than the filth fever bite that they have. So, the other one, which is Grababid Toad, is going to try to bite Toad. And because I decided to bite you, I didn't maintain the grapple, so I let you go. Because I'm dumb and did that wrong.
It's okay, I forgot to not get grabbed.
It's okay, I own up to my mistakes. Let's see, the bite is going to be a 15 to hit.
New.
Okay, so it tries to bite you, but the hide armor that you wear protected you. Yes. Cool, which brings us to... Let's see, move that. Okay. Yeah, the one that climbed out of the river did not have the reach to get to either of you, or to swing at you, but it's on its way. Then the one underneath is staying underneath because it found dinner. Toad, your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna swim to the surface.
Okay.
Ow. 22 swim check.
You swim to the surface. There's 10 feet to the shore if you want to get to there too.
I would. I was
That's
going
good.
to ask.
You know which direction to go.
Yeah.
So you go that direction. However,
Just that scene from The Mummy.
Looks like I have all the horses. Looks like you're on the wrong side of the
river. Yeah.
Fuck.
You take 19 more points of acid damage as you swim through the bile.
God damn. It's a good thing you're a healer to keep your ass alive.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a healer with 80 fucking health.
Yeah, you have successfully swum out of the bile river.
Oh, good.
Yay for you.
Well, that was a better thing than what I had fucking planned.
shopping.
I will draw my sword.
You draw your sword.
I'm assuming that was everything.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna.
It was a move to swim
Bare naked.
at half your speed, which was enough to get out,
Okay, cool.
and then draw your sword as part of that.
Swift action. I'm going to drop spiritual weapon. Will someone roll 2d8 for me?
I got it. 11.
Brings me up to 39. Where is this fucking thing on the shore?
It is about 10 feet that way.
Great. I will go 10 feet inland, away from the
Okay.
fucking bile.
Nice.
I was gonna say that way.
You are drunk. When you are drunk, you forget that I am in charge. Now, that's a deep cut, if you can remember what that is. Because as I typically do, I take the next logical step and then go another step and make that joke.
Nice.
So there's a whole thing that people miss.
I know that fucking
Are you
quote
talking to
too.
his penis?
No.
Which way do we go? That way!
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
It's the brownies.
Krieger, you are up. There is one of these creatures about 10 feet from you, one of the OTUs 10 feet away, and then one of them is still in the river. But you can't quite see.
I want to rush up to the one that was 10 feet away from him.
Okay,
The one that's on shore.
the one that's on shore.
The one that's on shore.
Cool. We'll rush it back into the river. It'll be fine.
No. Just rush up to him.
Sure.
Smack him in the face with a hammer.
One or two-handed?
Two-handed.
Okay, so shield thump goes away.
Yep.
Two-handed hammer time.
Hammer time.
Make your attack roll.
24 to attack.
24 hits.
21 damage.
21 points of damage.
Nice.
That was a shitty roll for damage.
Yeah.
That happens. Trust me.
Cool. Neato. That would be Mird's turn now.
Okay. How far away is that?
15 feet from you, and then the other one's still in the river. You can't see it above the surface.
Okay.
Good noises.
It fucking burns. I'll tell you that much.
I would like to take a 5-step back.
Okay.
If I could, 5-foot step back, and then just use my wand of magic missile on it.
Sure.
Which is, was it 3d4? You think when I set that up?
Yes. That'll be level 5, or cast level 5 you said it has.
Yeah,
So 3d4.
that's when I got
3d4 plus 3.
Boy, Weird ran out of money. Okay. Nice. So that's 10, 13.
13 points of damage brings us to 34 total.
Nice.
That's the best fucking magic missile roll I've ever had.
They basically duplicate your usual spell, correct?
Duplicate?
Yeah, the same look and effects?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the pink magic missiles that everyone's loving and used to.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to go for the pads or the iPad or the fucking iPad?
I want to go for the iPad.
Fine. Fucking iPads.
Windows 10, bitch.
Yeah. So your 3 missiles, despite the tentacle waving around, just trying to scan as much as possible, just unerringly just jam right into the eyeballs of this horrible, disgusting creature.
In your eye, bitch.
Does not kill it yet, but it does look like it. If it isn't blind, it's close. Which brings us back to their turns. We're gonna do this. Okay. So, having been just assaulted with a hammer and missiles, it retreats 10 feet back into the river. And then it's going to reach out and try to pull Krieger in with it.
Reach out and touch faith.
Try.
Well, that's 2. But that's a 15. Let's see. Your CMD's 26?
Yep.
Okay. It actually does manage to grab you. It doesn't pull you yet, but it has you grabbed. Because it needs to maintain that before it can yank.
Bull rush phase out of it.
But it has you grabbed, like...
How would that affect my freedom of movement?
It's a good question. Your shield is not currently out.
Ah, shit.
It's a good point.
Damn it.
That's that stipulation I put out there.
Being all smart and fucking... Damn it.
It's like I remembered how I set that shield up. I'm doing my job a little bit. The other one emerges from the river. And seeing everything else away from the river, it's also going to try to throw tentacles at Krieger. Because it's food and it's close by and it doesn't want to leave the river. That's a 7, and that's a 4. So tentacles wave out in your direction and you bat them away with the hammer while trying to wrest yourself out of the other one.
Just a point of note.
What's that?
Both he and the first tentacle monster don't get their dex to AC right now.
This thing rolled shit.
Okay.
Unless he is getting a 7 dex bonus to his CMD.
Probably not.
Yeah.
It doesn't come up often, so I thought I'd make a
Point.
mention.
Brings us to Toad.
You know how I said that it doesn't get its dex to AC right now? Mm-hmm. I'm going to charge that motherfucker and chop its fucking tentacles
It's
off.
in the river.
It has tentacles out.
That's true.
Can I chop eat the tentacles?
You can certainly try.
How's a 26?
I'd say their AC is significantly higher because they're smaller. Yeah. However, 26 is well enough to hit it.
Sweet. Is it a plant subtype?
It's an aberration.
He's gonna ask that every time,
not.
no matter
I'm not.
what.
And forever.
Not.
I would. Fuck.
That human guard, is he a
Plant.
subtype?
Let's go kill druids.
He looks like a pothead. Does that make him a plant subtype?
No, I'm into shrooms. I'm a fungus.
Oh, you're a super fun guy. 10, 20, 30, 47.
47?
47. Is it immune to the acid?
Yes.
Then 45.
45. You still could have killed it in one shot. So,
Looks like I'm doing my job.
you manage to...
I'm a healer.
You swing upward and cleave the tentacles free.
That's the one attacking me, or the
Yeah,
other
the
Yeah,
one
the one
grappling
attacking
you.
And luckily, it was stupid enough to have its eye stalk close enough to Krieger that you chopped that one just off as well. And you can see that the black ichor that is spewing from these things with great force spray all over most of you. At least the Krieger and Toad. But the creature itself seems to have detached itself from the river bottom and is just floating away now, just kind of limply. There's a lump of gross meat just kind of floating down a river of bile.
He's like covered in all the stuff.
I'm covered in bile. I'm covered in ichor.
I just yell. I go, Toad, you let him do you like that on the first date?
Krieger,
how far away is the other one?
it is 10 feet away from you, but it's still in the river.
Okay, that was my next question. Shit. From the last one, can I have gotten a good idea how deep the river is?
Probably 7 or 8 feet.
Enough is the answer. It's deep enough.
Deep to I don't want to go out there. It's 10 feet away.
Mhm.
I can't hit 10 feet away.
No. You can throw your hammer.
No, we're not gonna do that one.
Okay.
I can throw my fucking fork at him.
Ha!
I just rush up to meet him on shore.
Okay.
Ready and attack.
You ready to attack? Perfect. So,
This time with my
Mirrored.
shield.
This thing is sticking out slightly out of the water. Like the top of it is sticking out of the water. Its mouth is still submerged.
Is it trying to like do anything specifically, or is it still got a hold of him?
It looks like this is the one that doesn't have a hold of anybody. It didn't. It's the one that dragged him down initially,
Oh, okay.
but it currently does not have anyone grabbed. But it looks like it's still going to try to stay in the river and drag people into the river. That is want to do.
So all I can I see like the eye stalk or
Yeah,
anything?
the eye
Okay.
stalk and the 2 attacking tentacles.
Another magic missile
Do it up.
at the eyes.
Thank you.
That is all 4s.
Nice. 3
Not
damage.
gonna touch it. It was
Nice.
all 4s. So that is 15.
15 points of damage.
That is now officially the best fucking roll I've ever had.
You designate one missile per tentacle, and all of them recoil dramatically.
Perfect. I like that better.
It's cool.
That one. I do that one.
Yeah. There's one. The eye stalk has one large eye surrounded by much smaller ones. You just impale that first one, and it bursts. The other two, you almost sever the tentacle pads, or the grabbing hooked claw pads. You almost sever them, but not quite. That was mirrored, and it's going to be this creature's turn. It is very badly hurt. So it is going to submerge itself into the river.
Peace out, bitch.
Toad.
I'm fine with that.
Cool.
I'm going to wait for Krieger to get away from the shore.
You back away from the shore.
You gotta go home,
Hold on.
but you can't stay here.
I stay within 40 feet of Krieger, but back away from the shore.
Krieger, you're up.
Bang the hammer on my shield. Come on, what are you doing?
Nice. Give me an intimidate check.
I'm gonna intimidate it to fight.
I intimidate the river with the 19.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. Mirrored, your turn.
I'm just going to just wait. I'm gonna ready one for
Okay.
more activity, but I'm not gonna actually fire at anything.
Krieger, perception check.
Traditionally very
It somehow snuck up behind him.
Boo! Ah!
Surprise!
16.
16.
Best perception roll of the day.
Looking into the bile, it is really hard to see through, but you do see that the creature is trying to flatten itself out to sneak up as closely as possible to try to ambush you again.
Okay.
It is not quite within 5 feet of you,
Okay.
but if you took a step into the bile itself, where it's not shallow enough or it's not deep enough to go past your boot, it wouldn't do you any damage. You could probably get a swing on it.
Okay, I do that.
Okay.
Put away the shield. Two-hander.
Yeah, you splash into the river and bring your hammer.
Fuck. 16. Does that hit?
16 does not hit. The hammer splashes heavily into the bile. Doesn't do any damage to you because you put your helmet back on. And I know at one point you were wearing a helmet, but usually you
We
don't.
took it on, took it off.
Right. I figured you put it on when you're dealing with all of this crap. You take it off in town. So luckily you don't take any acid damage from you splashing around with your hammer.
Put my shield away.
However, it's going to try to... Yeah. Mir, do you want to just kind of do the same thing? Just ready up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not super interested in making sure we kill it. I just want it to go the fuck away.
This thing is going to lunge out of the river and try to bite you.
Yep.
Fuck. 26 to hit.
Means my shield's away. Yep.
Okay. 7 points of damage, and I need you to make a fort save, please.
Oh!
7 points of damage, you said?
7 points of damage.
And my fort save is 11.
11.
You roll.
Yeah, you roll your fort
I
save.
did.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, you got an 11?
Just want to make sure.
Okay.
Oh, you mean I can roll again?
Nope.
Sure.
Oh, so
do
my
that.
bonus is an 11,
Yeah.
so I wanted to make sure
So,
that you roll.
you contract filth fever.
Shit. I believe you.
Okay, so put a note on your character sheet, filth fever.
Fell fever?
Filth fever.
Filth.
Filth fever. Yeah, it sounds shitty.
It is. Okay. Cool. It's also going to try to grab you with tentacles. Roll. It's a 27, so you're grabbed. but the other one misses, so it can't pull you any closer.
Immediate action.
Yep.
I will cast Liberating Command.
Cool. Also, it comes out enough where you can make your attack of opportunity.
Sweet.
Krieger, you roll an Escape Artist with a plus 14.
10 points of damage.
Cool. 2 more magic missiles hit what's available, mostly mouth.
32.
You successfully rest yourself away with some divine inspiration from Gorham.
Stop it! No.
I think divine inspiration from Gorham to escape to me is do it. You take your hammer and just like no. You like smash yourself with the hammer and crush the tentacle enough to let it make it release, and you back away.
That sounds right. Or he just like peels it off with one hand, just
And then you just go ah at it. You just scream at it. That was your attack opportunity. So Toad, your turn.
It's enough out of the water to attack.
It's close enough. It's out of the. It's surfaced enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll attack it. I'll charge it even. Would you count that as cocked?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
It's very pointy.
Just want to make sure.
It's like the same thing you were about to roll anyway.
I'm assuming that's a hit.
Yeah, that's a 16 on the dice.
That's an 18 on the dice.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Of course. Aw, I missed that.
11, 12, 14,
Wallpaper.
17,
New work, does it?
Right there.
24,
Nice.
28, 38, 45.
45 points of damage. The 2 acid, or how much acid?
I didn't roll acid.
Okay, so 45 points of damage.
Yep.
You managed to chop into this thing's brain and halfway through its mouth and almost all the way through it, but not fully. However, it is very much dead, and it begins to kind of rotate as the current is starting to take it downstream, but enough of it is still on the bank enough where it's just starting to rotate and roll itself off the bank and downstream.
I start screaming at it, and if there's a tentacle that's like falls on shore, I boot the tentacle back into
Into the river?
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
I'm covered in ick.
Yes, you are. Icor. I thought that's what we're doing.
What? Huh?
Mana.
What knockers?
Great knockers.
What knockers? Thank you, Nick. roll.
Thank you,
roll
Doctor.
in the hay.
Bruja.
I don't do that anymore. Cool.
Can
So,
we get away from the
yes,
bile now?
you have escaped.
Pronounce it Igor.
I ain't got nobody.
Abby someone.
Abby Normal.
Abby normal.
Normal.
Not many Young Frankenstein references. Plenty of Men in Tights.
Right.
Yeah.
Not many Young Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Okay, so you guys leave the safety of the Bile River. Relative,
Yes.
relative safety of the Bile River.
Use the Bile River.
Having successfully crossed it, Jeremiah's over in the corners going. You're welcome, Tyler.
You're choking on a cock right now.
That's what you,
Alright,
get, that's what you get for
Well,
being in
what
the
are you
Grand
guys
Canyon.
doing?
You guys want to see my impression of Cinderella?
So, and luckily,
Somebody at the party. Peter something or other.
out of the weird, gross, sweaty haze, as you travel further south,
Can you fix this?
we'll call it
weird-
south.
Can you give me a one up?
Prestidigitation.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
Looming above you is the twisted megastructure of the clock tower.
I have a question.
By all means.
The big pyramid was moving.
No.
It wasn't moving.
No.
It was just itself moving around.
Yes.
Okay,
Individual panels of it were continuously
So
moving.
it wasn't like a traveling thing.
No.
Okay. Perfect. That's what I needed to know.
I could see how that was miscommunicated.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure
Yes.
that we
no,
weren't on like a
the pyramid is stationary. However, it is very
movie.
Undulating.
animated.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah.
It's very almost like steampunky, but in a very utilitarian fashion. There's not a lot of flamboyant extra gears and whistles and vents and things, but it's very much like panel open, steam comes out, panel close, panel open, garbage comes out, panel close.
So we're now like at the structure,
But yes,
or close to it.
looming above you about, we'll say, quarter to a half a mile away, is the base of the structure. You can see several figures. Hard to make out exactly what they are. They look reasonably humanoid. However, a few of them you notice have four arms with big hands that hang way too low. They just seem to be kind of milling around the base. You can see a few of them are chasing small figures. And the tower itself, which looks like it's made entirely of brass, kind of twists and climbs up into the clouds above. And that's where we're calling it for the week.